What's good? What's good? Happy Mother's Day to all of the mommies out there. And I hope y'all heard the first part of that because it just said live. But if you didn't, I am saying happy salutations, good morning, good afternoon, good night somewhere in the world. But it is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Yeah, happy hot mama day to everybody.
Okay,
Hot
mama,
mama day.
really? Hot
Yeah,
mama?
it
Yes, let
ain't
them
no
be hot
regular.
mamas.
Yeah, let me be
Let
hot
them be
mama.
hot
Hot
mamas.
mama. Yeah, all day.
Mojo, as the mothers on the panel, how are you feeling about that? Because I ain't a hot mama. I don't
Yes,
consider
you
myself.
are.
You
Girl, bye.
oh, you know you
Woo!
yeah, for real. She
Listen,
tripping.
when
Somebody
you say
better
Giving
I
you a
take
hot
it as
mama.
a
go get that lady
compliment.
computer and put it away, please.
Facts.
no, listen. When
I
I think
take it
of
as a
hot mama, y'all know I'm the prude. Y'all call me the prude all the time. When I think of hot mama, I'm thinking of it hot in the ass. That's what I'm
No,
thinking
that's
of.
No,
different. It's the
yeah,
difference
that's
between hot
different.
no.
mama and hot ass mama.
We
Okay.
Tatianas
Yeah, no, we say hot
and
mama.
yeah,
Now we ain't talking about hot ass. No, we're not talking
right.
about hot in the
No,
ass.
don't nobody
Okay,
like hot in the ass.
listen.
Okay.
Right. Not the fast
No.
Fast ass mamas.
Happy Mama's Day to all of the hard working mothers
Yes.
out there because
Facts.
Being
it
able to
is
make it
not,
happen.
listen, make it happen. And it is not just if you're a stay at home mom, it don't matter. A mother's job is 10 times harder than anything. So
Mm.
happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to my mom. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
Um,
mom. Rest in peace,
definitely.
granny.
Yes, rest in peace, Granny. And my grandmother's birthday was actually yesterday. So happy
Mm.
Oh,
Mother's Day, happy birthday to my grandmother. Rest in paradise. Um, Angie too. I didn't want to go there, but yeah, Angie too.
Yeah.
Our co-host Chris, happy Mother's Day to his wife Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
Um, are we missing anybody?
Miss
Sorry, girl.
Mrs. J Banks. Mrs. Yeah,
Ah,
she don't have a mustache.
oh
She don't have a
dang.
mustache. But
Happy Mother's Day, Erica.
yeah.
yes, to his better half. Yes. And I hope everybody has a great Mother's Day today.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Positive vibes. Yeah, we got a lot to freaking talk about. We have been busy,
Busy,
and
Mm-hmm.
busy.
unfortunately, we hadn't been able to get a show out, but we are here and we
Mm-hmm.
got
Hmm.
to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Where we starting at, y'all? Like, uh,
No,
you
let's start. Let's get what's off of the fresh off the press. Let's go straight
Mm-hmm.
to
oh,
this event that happened.
before we do that, shout out to Steph Curry.
Yes,
Yes.
Shout out to Steph Curry.
yes.
Salute.
Bay Area
Uh,
shit.
Standing
Shout out
by
to
What?
his woman.
uh,
Aisha? Is it Aisha or Asia? Is
nah,
what's her name?
it's
Aisha.
Aisha.
Aisha. Aisha. We hear you, Queen. We understand.
ah,
Hmm.
shut
Trust
up.
me. And
Shut your
real
ass up.
women, real nah.
Just,
Don't do that.
just shut his light skin ass. It's just cheaper to keep it there, but it's just cheaper to keep it there,
Oh
but.
no.
So what you got to do, boy, you got to play your light skin card. Go ahead, play your light skin card. You did
She
good,
light
Steph.
skinned too, so don't even do
You
that.
little
So
punk ass.
she like he not no
Oh
punk.
my,
He
yeah,
understand.
my baby,
I
my
hate,
shut up.
I
Some
hate
of
that.
y'all will never mature to that level.
Listen,
You right.
Uh,
I will be with all the
listen,
peasants.
listen, Linda. For real. Listen, I hate that we didn't get a chance to finish that show. Because that was a stellar fucking show. As y'all see my computer, the guys and gals don't seem to see the difference in this computer. It's a different computer, but we were having a stellar show about
Yeah,
all of that. We might get
yeah,
back into that later today
yeah,
or during this broadcast
yeah.
as
I don't
time.
want to talk that negative energy on this show today.
hush your chocolate brown
Oh Lord.
behind up.
Sensitive. Oh,
God.
It was
Shut
oh,
nothing
your
negative.
face.
he need a sensitivity ass motherfucker. Oh, he sad.
Listen. First and foremost,
Look,
that's the thing. A lot
look. Shy only get emotional for his sneakers.
You
Right, right,
facts,
right.
facts.
But at the end of,
Weirdo.
I could understand. A lot of people don't understand, first off, how media works, and that's a big problem because you got to understand with these celebrities, and if you've ever had or been around anybody in sports entertainment, you do realize that these, like, matter of fact, Shy, when we were supposed to interview CeeLo Green,
Mm-hmm.
just come off with questions half cocked. We're underground radio, and even when interviewing some other people, when we had Yuck Mouth on, you have to actually tell them what the premise of your questions are going to be,
To be,
or
yeah.
you have to
Facts.
give
Yeah.
them
Mm-hmm.
right. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not something that was just up and a question. If you pay attention to how she segued into that whole conversation, you can tell that they were going from topic to topic. And not for nothing, the mother kind of laid out the blueprint in the beginning. That's the matriarch. Y'all could, like, I don't know what people look at, but pay attention. That's the matriarch of that family right there. You know what I mean? That's a long lineage of sports and
Mm-hmm.
being a athlete's wife. Having three uncles that was pro football players, I could feel where she was coming from because y'all don't understand that because you never been in that. My one of the uncles, his wife, like, it's kind of like for women who've been to, to go to debutantes. You know how, or you gotta almost have prearranged marriages and certain things that, the families come together, and certain things that you do, in certain ways that, and everybody kind of talks situations out, teach them how to handle situations, and open and honesty is what they have. If they're okay
Mm-hmm.
being able to say, listen, babe, I did this, and then not for nothing, you niggas ain't had these kids back to back.
Mm.
The woman said, this is the way I feel, or this is the way I felt early on or before. I don't feel that way now. This may seem strange. Somebody asked me, they was like, well, that didn't seem strange to you. And she said, no, no, I say that shit all the time when I'm trying to articulate a thought. And I'm like, that may sound funny to y'all or whatever, because we know that everybody doesn't think alike. But I applaud her because at the end of the day, I feel like she may have helped some other relationships where you may have a stay-at-home mom or a stay. I feel like stay-at-home dads may feel this way. You have
Mm-hmm.
a spouse or you have somebody that you're in a relationship with that you just may feel like you don't amount to. It doesn't necessarily mean that she want a nigga to slap on her ass, but who's to say that during her pregnancies and all these different things that she didn't feel undesirable? He may have felt, shy shit when, you may be like, okay, well, how does this look on me? Men, no, don't tell her she fat.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what insecurity she had about herself. And
Mm-hmm.
there may have been times where she may have felt like she was inferior to her husband. And if we think about it, human nature, I understand we're looking at it as husband and wife. Human nature. We have asked for validation from other people since we were adolescents. Our parents have told us, you're good enough, you're this, you're that. But it wasn't until our friends said, girl, you popping, or nigga, you got this, whatever. We did not, our parents are our rocks. We didn't listen to them. And I know that may seem different because this is supposed to be her husband, but it's not. And if you look at it as people who love us, care about us, their opinions are the only opinions that are supposed to matter, but it don't always work that way. And we don't live in perfect worlds, and she's human. And brother, I know that you're quiet. I wish Mike was on because he agreed. But I'm not saying that maybe she shouldn't have said it, but I applaud her for putting herself out there to do it because I guarantee she helped someone else throughout all the negativity. I guarantee she helped someone else.
Listen, here's the thing. We're talking about someone who showed a great amount of honesty. She was extremely transparent. and saying what she said. And who's to say that this message wasn't a subliminal for her husband? Babe, I'm feeling the kind of way right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Without actually saying his name, because then we would have further attacked her for that reason and that reason alone. However, you have to understand that people have needs.
Right.
And while we may not always want to be the center of attention, but there are people who do choose that type of, I guess they call it glamour or love or you know what, a form of acceptance. You know what I'm saying? The idea is that you have to be able to, and that's when I got mad because I was like, they're trying to shut this woman down from being completely transparent and honest. Don't do that. Listen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it seems like it's invalid and you have a valid argument to pose with that person, then that's when you do that. But her simply saying that, wow, like sometimes I feel like chopped meat, when I'm in the shadow of my husband, should not be something that says, oh, I want, dudes coming at me, whatever, whatever. Half of y'all she would have shot down anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So let's keep that 100 and let's move forward with the idea that men, you have no right to shut a woman down when she is being honest. You have no right to tell another relationship what their relationship should look like. Half of you are not even in the relationships you have children with.
Mm.
Half of you are not with your mother right now on Mother's Day. Half of you will not even you look for more acceptance from your homeboys than you do the woman that
Mm-hmm.
shares her roof with you.
Yep.
Talk
You,
to
you
them.
and this is what I'm saying. Like, so with that being said, and I'm not gonna harp on it, but with that being said, you have to realize that you are just as much responsible for the women in your life that you call yourself loving, for how they feel, as they are responsible for letting you know, babe, you did a good job. Thank you, babe, for making me feel appreciated. Thank you, babe. Let me do something special for you for today. You know what I mean? Because y'all always crying about something a woman did. And then when y'all get with your homeboys, y'all validate each other for being complete assholes. I'm not signing on for that. It ain't gonna happen. So leave them people alone. Let these women speak their mind for a change and real emotional content, because she didn't go on a rant and get drunk and have a crash at the local bar and get caught kissing some stranger. She said this in such a way. It was with class, actually. So she didn't do nothing but put her emotions on Front Street. Not her relationship, not her children, not her marriage. Just look, I'm a woman. I need to feel desirable, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you men need to stop shaming women for being who they are authentically, because half of y'all don't even know how to be yourselves.
Well, and here's the thing. That's a fact. And here's the thing. Grab your kahunas and
Right.
understand, because some of y'all will make excuses for the littlest things. When you maybe sitting at home on your ass and she can't make time for you,
Mm-hmm.
and you may go out and see Becky that has all the time in the world because she ain't got no aspirations, but she basically she feels your pain. Oh, you don't
Mm-hmm.
pay attention to me. Oh, I don't pay attention to you because I'm over here working 14 fucking hours a week or a day because you can't get the job that you need to have to take care of house and home.
Mm.
So I'm just,
And I
and I'm
come
not
home and
saying
take
that's
care of house and
everybody.
home.
I'm not saying that that's everybody, and not for nothing. A lot of people, and this is not just women, or this is not just men, because there were some women that chimed in on this too. A lot of y'all, as Ann said before, have not been, you haven't been cultured enough to know what real relationships are, in my opinion. If you are dealing with people who are just in your demographic, and you've never leveled up to be with somebody who you can have those type of communications with, then you wouldn't know what that means. Nowadays, you can't. Nowadays, people don't even communicate no more. We don't sit and talk. We text. We don't even have conversations.
That's a fact.
And people automatically assume that this woman had not told her husband this beforehand. I be damned if that woman came on that show and said this, especially in front of that boy's mama, and said this. And if anybody was paying attention to the women in her family, that girl has been in that family since she was 14 years old. She is for real family. Can't get no more family than that. She knows better. She knows better. But I don't want to harp on that. Like I said, you know, the shot done got quiet as a mug.
I'm just gonna say this. I mean, I saw the interview. I understand what she's saying perfectly. But my thing is this right here. You should be kind of be happy and blessed with what you got, because there's a lot of women don't have what you have right now. It was a lot of women.
Hold on.
Let me get my
How does
rounds
money equate to what you need emotionally?
I'm not talking about money. See, you cutting me off, and I'm not. Let me get my round off. I'm not talking. I did not one time. I said anything financial wise.
She pulled a John the Don just now.
Yeah, for real, because she think I'm thinking about money. Because we all know money comes and go. Money don't fix everything. Money don't make you happy. But my point is that she got a man. That boy loves her. That boy loves her ever since the first time he laid eyes on her. You his wife now. You got his kids. It was at one point in your life you was getting the attention and getting hit on by guys right now, and you kind of got tired of it. Hey, I got a husband. I'm good. Now all of a sudden it seemed like, okay, you're not getting that attention now. So now it just looked kind of funny, because on the outside looking in, that brother loves his wife, and he hold his wife down. He holds his wife high like a queen that she is, just like LeBron does. Yeah. So it's just like I mean, I can't understand it because I'm not a woman, but as a man, how I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, baby, I'm doing everything that I can to make you happy. I'm giving you that attention. What is it more that I need to do? It seems like for us as men, we can still do those things and do the little things and probably do the medium or the big things. But it always make us feel like, you know what, baby? Hey, I don't feel appreciated. You know, what is it? What more can I do? What more can I give to make you feel like you the one for me? I'm not trying to be with nobody else. You beautiful. It's just like what it's like as men, we don't necessarily get the respect or the acknowledgement that we get sometimes, even though that we are doing the things that we're supposed to do.
That's a fact. That's all
I'm thinking, because I'm thinking that's where the miscommunication is coming in, as far as on the woman's side and as the men's side, because you do got brothers that show their woman attention, but it might not be good. It just might be enough.
Well, see,
it's same as with men.
Well, see, the one thing that you said though, Shy, you watched the interview. A lot of folks watched this interview and they went by what other people were saying. Because in that interview, what she also said was, I find it hard to juggle being a working mom, my kids, and my husband. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to do better. She said that. Now, she didn't say it in those words, but she said that.
Yeah.
She absolutely said that. So, you know what I mean? Like, just that's true. It's like, yeah, like you said, you do have women that, and I can understand where a man was coming from, because yes, you do have women that, hey, I'm doing everything.
Exactly. And, like, damn, like, I can give you some roses right now. Thank you. Put them up. Go on about your merry way.
No, I think it's a little bit more mental than that. It's a little more emotional than that. But again, I could really sit down and talk to you about things like this, because I've been around the block a couple of times. We all know I'm old as dirt. But what I'm trying to say is that we need to support one another in being able to be as forthcoming as she was. And I think men need to learn that trait as well, because it would prevent a lot of cheating.
Exactly.
It would really, really stop the side women in action kind of scenarios. But, and I got very passionate about it, watching and I have to remember, those men that are in the age bracket of 20, from 20 to 25 or whatever, y'all really don't know what y'all talking about. And from 25 to 30, some of y'all are feeling like you need to be kissing my feet because I am the great I am. If you are somewhat successful. That's not how life works, bruh. You're not going to get the value of a king acting like a peasant from me doing, being so crass and so uncaring. And you know what? Social media taught y'all how to be disconnected from real
I think that's for a lot of
value.
people. That's for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's
No.
a lot of people.
Especially the last two generations behind me. I see how they communicate, and I'm like, whoa, like. Nah, and then here's the crazy part. You got the nerve to fall in love online. If you don't get the whole hell out of here, like, it's one thing to meet somebody and really connect with them, but it's a whole nother thing when...
Okay, stop. Wait.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to continue this show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I told you. That's why I didn't want to. I could go
Yeah.
on and on forever about shit like
No,
this.
but we can. But I do want to get
Yeah,
into.
I do too. I've got rounds. Let's go.
Well, okay, because what I did want to say, yeah, you were going there with the y'all got nerve to fall in love online, and that's true. That ain't for everybody though, and you can't help who you fall in love with.
No, and I was gonna go there. See, you didn't let me finish. There you go.
Okay, well, go ahead.
No, you were very adamant about breaking me off. No, I was gonna say you can't pick and choose who you fall in love with. And I told you before, I have seen some online relationships really flourish, big beautiful weddings and all of that. But you know what it took for that? Real live communication.
That's a fact.
That's all it took, was some real honesty. And when you say you love somebody, meaning that shit, hello, you know what I mean? So, but again, that's a can of worms that we'll be trying to put back in place for a long time. Maybe we should save it for another day. But I really, 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 really want to move into this next line of conversation we're about to go into.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So we had Panic Room 4 yesterday.
I heard.
We had. Well, hold on. Let me get the matches. So we had the matches were Misfit Farrah, C3 Shayna Ashley,
Jade and Panic.
We missed
Vixen and
Vixen and Casey. Yeah, Vixen and Casey.
And there was a surprise battle. Tia and Lex Benko.
R.I.P. to Vixen lost her father. So
that's why rest in peace.
Did not go down.
Sorry, Queen, for your loss. So sorry.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So we kind of, even though they did, I don't think they announced it that battle wouldn't go down. But anybody who follows Vixen should have seen she was burying her father yesterday. So that was obvious. So but yeah, so they had pay-per-view, which was not promoted well at all.
Yeah, I didn't know
about the pay-per-view
at all.
That's why I was like, was it?
It was a crappy stream.
Was it Rap Grid or what? What was they using?
Who knows?
I'm not sure. I think B City from We Go Hard is providing the stream, and that's no punt towards them and their production, but they did try to provide that, and it didn't go so well. I heard that there were outages, that there was a power outage So when they tried to come back up, they had different things going on, and so it made for the stream to be even worse.
Ugh.
And I mean the quality of battles. And you were able to see the stream. You were able to see the event. Let's
Well,
talk.
I saw. Listen, like I said, it was a really poor stream. It kept lagging, and then you could see that they were trying to catch up. Um, and it wasn't very clear. The visual wasn't very clear. Um, the sound went out a couple of times, so they were having technical difficulties for sure. For sure, what that could have been. It could have been the weather that was coming in anyway, because we got storms coming in from all fronts.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have very well been the situation. People were angry and mad. I choose. I'm more angry at what took place at the event as opposed to
Well,
the actual
Well, Ange, let me ask
footage.
you this: How much was the pay-per-view?
I think it was 30, right?
25,
Oh.
25, 30, something like that. Yeah.
and not for nothing. And then I heard that they were charging 30 or 50 at the door.
Oh
Oh.
wow, Jesus.
But let me tell you this: like Ann said, she was more so upset about things that occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Ange and I and Mojo had a great time at this last event in April.
Facts.
Um,
Yes, we did.
I would have been, again, since it is Mother's Day, let's kind of emphasize on how hard we work to provide for our families. And then we want to embark on this media thing, and we don't get paid for this. Everything comes out of our pockets. To have flown to New York and the amount of bullshit that occurred at this event, like, come on.
So I'm assuming,
Yeah.
there was some fuck ups in some of the matches, and maybe some fuckery as far as fighting might have occurred.
Well, I mean, even I'm not buying the pay-per-view. I'm not gonna buy it. I'll wait for the battles to come out. I'm gonna
Well,
keep
somebody just bought it and said it wasn't working well anyway. So
One shout out to Khadijah. She bought it and said it's not working. Her pay-per-view is not working right now. So
well, hopefully they'll get that fixed. Let's just pray to get that fixed.
that they will. But I feel like there was preparation that April. Yeah, you had about a month's preparation. I know some people had a little more than that because some matches were even put together before or during the preparation for Watch the Throne. So there was definitely a lot of preparation, or there was immense amount of preparation time. Although I'm not buying the stream, let's talk about it because Debo is getting drugged everywhere. Let's just break it down. There was a lot of chokes, a lot of stumbles. There were no clean performances, right?
Wow.
I heard Shuni choked against Suge.
I heard that the battle was good though. I heard that it was good.
They said even with the choke, Shuni took that, and I knew she would. So
right, because they said both of them did. They said that Suge messed up too, but they said that Shuni's material was better. That Shuni's material was better.
I knew that was going to happen.
Right.
Shuni's been on a roll lately.
Yes,
Shuni's been on a fucking roll.
Shuni is you know what? Her pen has elevated so ridiculously. It's like, who the fuck are you? You know what? Like, love must be great. She is like, and let's not take away from who she was before her relationship. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was an undeniable force then, but now she is.
Oh, go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I wanna hear.
What I was gonna say was no. We're not taking away from it. It's what's called evolving.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's evolved as a person. She's evolved as an entertainer. She's evolved.
Yes.
And that's what a queen of the ring is supposed to look like.
Exactly.
Evolving.
Exactly.
Because here's the thing. We'll get back on these
Mm-hmm.
battles, but it's just kind of disgusting because there's this big, shout out to Norbs. He did a live yesterday and he had some key fucking points about Queen of the Ring. It's bad enough that Queen of the Ring is run by males because, and I say that not no diss to them, but we just finished talking about how men aren't always as considerate and understanding and have no nurturing ability to issues that women may have. Sometimes
Facts.
there's a lack of consideration. And with that lack of consideration, you put the battlers in a position to where dumb shit has to happen, whether it be at the battles or whether it be during the production. Okay, I know for a fact one of the battlers. Well, here's my thing: women should never be. When you're traveling from another state, a woman battling should never be stuck without transportation, be stuck without a place to go, and should not have any money when she's coming to do a job for a platform that has hired her,
Mm.
especially her own.
Mm.
I'm gonna say it like that. This is one of the biggest things that I'm hearing, that I've heard throughout Queen of the Ring elevation. Okay, so that's one. We'll come back to that. That's one. And I'm not giving no names out. I'm not doing any of that. You know who you are. Um, you know who you are. And the league knows what I'm talking about. So I'm not trying to shit on anybody, but if Queen of the Ring is going to try and make this comeback, there's a lot of shit that's getting candy coated. And I saw a post, a comment from somebody who says that everybody says that Debo ain't shit, but you motherfuckers keep dealing with it. So what does that mean?
Facts.
So
Mm-hmm.
let's hash this shit out. Let's chop this fable, and let's not hold nothing back. At
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, we can't completely put shit on the battler. We have to kind of make the league responsible. And where Queen of the Ring wants to have the core base of females, you got to do right by these people. You got to make it a safe, secure situation. You got to make sure that the fan bases outside of the niche market that you're in want to watch you.
Facts.
That's just business 101. So C3, who rarely has horrible performances, is apologizing for her performance because you have Rex heckling her while she's rapping.
Mm-hmm.
Now I recall when we were at the event, Debo is screaming, yelling, going crazy. We're trying to get this footage. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do that. Where was the shut the fuck up when this man is heckling this woman while she's trying to rap? What are we doing?
Right. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody said anything. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
So I
And
mean, go
and
ahead,
it's
go ahead, Marco.
it's kind of like because she what's the proper word? The She's gay and she's on the manly or masculine side. They feel like they don't have to, you know, do the proper takes as to, hey, chill out, leave her alone, let her rap. Feel like, oh, okay, well, she can handle herself. Like, yo, at the end of the day, she's still a battler. She's on your platform. Like, do your job and make sure that she's okay so she can do her performance.
Right.
No, let's first of all, Rex, you a cool dude. We met on a couple of occasions. You fucking wrong. Period. Like And if that shit had happened while you were fucking performing, you'd be ready to fight or call your brother. I've been there for that. So when it's all said and done, and this is not the first time Rex has come to the Queen of the Ring platform and has disrupted something.
Right, disrespected the platform.
You know, and again, they continue to show you they love you, but you come back and you give them your ass to kiss. There's something wrong with you, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Furthermore, respect the MC because that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You are basically a legend out here in the streets, and you acting like a typical know nothing fan. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I think at this point, T-Rex, he should be setting an example. Not,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like you a legend, you're
Yeah.
OG in here. It's like you're supposed to be teaching, like, okay, this is how you supposed to conduct yourself. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like that. I don't know. It's like I don't know
I
what is
just,
it
I
about
just,
Queen of. I don't understand what it is about Queen of the Ring that he just want to show his ass. I don't understand that.
yeah, well, we can take it to many different levels of disrespect if that had been, or if that is really the situation. Because I wasn't even paying attention to the idea that it was an all female platform. First of all, security should be utmost and most important at an all female event, knowing that things can be toxic from moment to moment. But with that being said, I want to go back and address Rex for doing some fucking clown shit like that. That was dumb. And it was disrespectful, not just to the MC, but to the platform and to the fans. I am a fan. Before
Mm-hmm.
I'm anything, before I can make a commentary on anyone or anything, I am first and foremost a fan. And I am an avid lover of the Queen of the Ring platform. And like I said, this is the second time I am witnessing you do something. The first time was critical. You had a beef with a woman then, and now you over here coming at another woman, dyke, lesbian, queer, or otherwise. Why? What's wrong with your masculinity that you have to try the platform that comes for and is about the women? Don't do that. I respect you too. That's the crazy part. But like, somebody got to put their goddamn knee in your neck because you acting like you don't know no better. You've been around the block a few times, Rex. Don't do that. Go sit down and enjoy yourself. Have a glass of Hennessy or whatever it is you do. I'll give you a Capri Sun. I'll order you a lunch. I'll Uber eat you over something. But the shit that you did was unnecessary. And the fact that you did it to C3 is, what are you saying? C3 is hot right now. She's on fire. And I know for a fact she may not have given her very best, but I guarantee you, had you not been there doing what you were doing, she'd have bodied Shayna. And I'm sorry, Shayna, because I think you're fly. I think you're dope. But I think that when it comes to coming up against somebody like C3, the person that you are as a battler has to elevate a hell of a lot more before you cease to. C3 is on a levitating situation right now, and she is not coming to lose. And that's sad that she would even go on public media or social media to say that she wasn't able to give her best performance. And she didn't even single nobody out for that reason. She just
At all.
apologized for her performance. Now that's a professional right there.
Yeah. She
You know
should
what I
have.
mean? So yeah, I love me some C3. Everybody know that. I love me some C3. I love me some K Profit. I love me
But
some E Heart. Let's go there. Like,
but she embodies professionalism. That's what I love about
yes,
C3.
she does. She
And
shows up and she shows out. And when
right.
she's not giving you what she feels like you deserve, she is apologetic and humble. And she
Yes.
interacts with you. Like, golly, this, for a lot of people that are fans, that are literal fans, this is the closest that people will come to ever really being around a star. And if
That's a
you're
fact.
going to
There's
be,
no
if
celebrity.
if you're going to be around an infamous person who interacts with you, nothing makes your day more. That's why these groups stay popping and stuff like that, because oh my God, she said something to me, or oh my God, he liked my post, like he thought that was fun, or oh my God, he shared my post. Like, y'all live for that, and that's beautiful. That's the beautiful thing, that someone who is on the rise wants to give you a piece of shine because they feeling good about a moment. But it's a whole nother thing when someone has to be apologetic because someone else decided to interfere with how they do things, and that being
And
T-Rex.
let me add that in here too, because and not for nothing, there was a lot of wasted time. A lot of wasted
Yep,
time. I heard
facts.
that they weren't even ready to go. What, three until three
Yeah,
hours
it was supposed to start at 2. Yeah, it was supposed to start at 2. It started at like 5.
at 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of people that were able to drink, a lot of people that were able to eat
Mm-hmm.
and just do what they need to do. And you cannot have people at a venue sitting, getting drunk, and
Mm-hmm.
think that things are going to come off that way. You have battlers that are now irritated, ready to go, and you know what I mean? Then when you get there, it's showtime and everybody got to jump into action. Can't
Mm-hmm.
do that. You can't do that. You know what I mean? I just feel like there's an array of reasons why certain
Yeah,
things didn't go the way that
today
they
is Mother's Day. Yesterday, everybody should have been at home chilling. Like this, and first of all, not only did battlers come in from out of town, but so did fans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
right.
I'm saying? So we're and this is not a shot at Queen of the Ring, but something else needs to happen in order for order to be first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? And now let me go into this because nobody has mentioned it yet, but we have all discussed it. Ladies, stop playing. The females in this culture are already laughed at and not taken as seriously. But then
Oh,
you turn around and you make that a plausible argument. You turn around and you want to be angry, you want to be frustrated, you want to talk any old way sideways, you want to be emotional when this is not the time to do it. Okay, so are we moving on? Because we can move on from the C3 fiasco with Rex, and we can move into like some of the temper tantrums that were being thrown around.
okay. So from what I'm hearing, and from what I'm hearing, because of the have one or BC3, that may be a debatable. You had so she choked all over the place. You had Jade that of course beat Panic. Panic also choked, and I'm hearing they had a phenomenal third.
Mm-hmm.
Which I heard about what happened there. But anyway, then you have Misfits and Farah, who
And that's
was
what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm.
who was the I guess were they the main event?
Headliners. Mm-hmm.
Were they the main event? Okay. So you
Mm-hmm.
have the event that happens. From what I'm being told, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, Mojo, if y'all seen it, Shy, if you saw it or heard about it, I'm hearing clearly that Misfit the Farah. I'm thinking about something else, and I almost said what I was thinking about, but anyway. Oh
That's
shit.
who was that battle rapper? Miss Feet. I was like, damn, who is she? Where's she come from? Miss Feet?
No bullshit, Misfit, because I fucks with you big time. You know that. You know that. You know.
happy to see Misfit coming back.
Hell yeah.
I heard she
I
rapped like
really
her
do.
life depended on it.
No, you know what? That's effortless for Misfit though. This is what she do. Misfit does this. Like I think people forgot because she decided to take a little time off and do her music, which is fire, by the way. Which is fire, by the way. I need to say that, and not dick riding on Misfit because I Misfit live around here. I see her from time to time, and we chit chat about this and that. So she cool people. She cool beans with me any day of the week. But Misfit is not your typical battler. Let's not even put her in a box like that. Misfit is so fucking well rounded. Excuse my French, y'all. That she has performance. She has bully. She has punchlines. She's whimsical as a motherfucker. She does rebuttals. She does like
all of that.
she
was
is
this
so
the best?
fucking bar heavy.
Was this the best Misfit ever? From what I'm hearing, it's saying like this was the best Misfit ever.
No, you know what it is that you haven't seen Misfit for a while, so you hunger for more when you see that. The same way when we saw Prophet the other day, K Prophet.
Right. Prophet and Misfit, their comebacks have been great. That's
phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. It's like they never skipped a beat and they were on pace for this era of lyricism, because remember back then lyricism was not that big and nobody in Queen of the Ring really cared about the lyricism of the girls at the time. They had a lot, remember, and if anybody has not heard that show, we actually had this show, the same topic, about 2 months ago, or about 2 months ago when the first event happened. We kind of gave you the different tiers. We gave you the different generations of female battlers to come into Queen of the Ring and their attributes. That was the show that we had Shuni on, actually. So y'all might, you may want to go back and watch that show, because yes, definitely up here it's a
and
lot.
Shuni was super candid on that. So if you really want to hear some jewels, Shuni dropped some jewels that day. Salute to her. I love me some Shuni too. Damn it.
One of my favorites. She's definitely been, but as far as this grown woman that she's becoming and juggling, battling, a relationship and children, I definitely dig her for that, because she still is who she is. What?
I get it.
We got Mike back.
To go freaky dicky.
Oh God, I just seen him pop up. Okay.
Go freaky dicky.
Shout out to Shuni. I always call Shuni my cousin of a cousin. Me and Shuni share the same cousin on different sides of family.
That's dope. Oh, so you got a little Latin in you, eh?
Well, my cousin Maya is well, actually, yes, I do, because my mom is Native American and Mexican, actually. But Shuni's well, she's my cousin Maya. Her dad is my cousin, and my cousin Maya. Her dad is my cousin, and Maya's dad or mom is on Shuni's side. So we share a cousin.
Okay. So y'all some like second, third cousins in the third, fourth, father.
I call her a cousin. I call her my cousin.
Kind of way.
Fake cousin, but I've always been a fan of Shuni. The crazy thing is, like, back in the day, like when me and my son's mom first got together, she was like Twitter friends with Shuni, and they used to chop it up all the time, which was crazy. She's like, my girl's at that event that you're watching. I'm like, who? She's like, you know who Shuni is? I'm like, oh yeah, I know who Shuni is. Yeah. So small world.
Okay.
Shuni's dope as shit. The long way, even before like I found out we had shared a cousin. I always thought she was fire.
Fire. Go ahead, Wayne. Finish that thought. Wayne?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm talking a little bit. She asked me to cut her some watermelon, and I'm asking her for my computer charger. Don't worry about it. Thank you. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me ask a question real fast before we get into this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. There's footage of Jack Boy running around here in a fight.
It's old, but it's new to a lot of people.
Wait, what happened?
AKA Jack Boy Main, aka Jack Boy Lee. Um,
Bruce Leroy.
yeah, Bruce Leroy. Yeah.
Wait,
Um,
he was doing karate.
yeah. He was on his karate shit. He was on his Tai Chi shit. But this happened a long time ago. This footage was out there, but yeah, John had actually put it back out there because since they about to battle and all, so he's definitely selling the fight.
We're gonna get to that. Oh
I'm
damn, I should
definitely
have
about to go
waited.
look for this
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
he
footage.
get
should have waited.
Yeah,
um
don't release those informations yet.
right. Okay,
Yep.
so
So
anyway,
let's
um Mike, just to catch you up to speed, anybody who's joining in, we are talking about the Queen of the Ring Panic Room um um event, and we're doing it
Uh-huh.
in a different way. Pretty much the predictions that we've heard have been across the board. Misfit, C3, Shayna Ashley debatable. Vixen and KCJ did not go down. If you're just now coming on, Vixen's father died and she buried him yesterday.
Oh,
So that didn't happen. And then you had Jade and Panic. Again, there's a lot of comments where people are like, you know what, we're talking more about the drama than we're talking about the battles and so on and so forth. But you know what? That's because the drama gets so emphasized that this is the way of life for them. You know what I mean? You got footage flying around everywhere of fights that's happening. People who wanted to watch the pay-per-view, because from my understanding, there was not a huge crowd in the building. So most people are trying to watch the pay-per-view, and right now I'm hearing that the pay-per-view is not even working. People who were watching the pay-per-view at that time were dissatisfied because they did have a power outage, which of course is beyond their control. But there were different instances where they had to shut it down, and then the last time they shut it down, it was because of the fight. So, and not for nothing, and you and I, you, me, Shy, and Mike were talking about this earlier. Mojo, you can, agree or disagree and elaborate on it. But for the matches to have been, they look great on paper, and they're matches that, yeah, I would have won it a long time ago, and still today. But coming from Watch the Throne and the sparring session, this is Panic Room. And I kind of would have expected for them to have put my trifecta up there against the top tiers. Like at some point, we have to flourish. We got to start flourishing. We got to start giving these younger girls the torch now. Because, like in male battle rap, the torch is handed over in some form of fashion.
Right.
We don't need a rookie versus vets. We need to have a way where these girls, these newer girls, are showing, are able to showcase that they can handle it. They can get their popularity up. The fans can start can start basically saying, "Hey, this is who our favorites are," and they can start being happy about seeing them too.
Mm-hmm.
I understand there needs to be ticket sales or whatever the case may be, but I could have done without seeing Jay battle Panic. I could have done with seeing Jay battle even fairer or Shayna Ashley. I could have, and not to say that Farrah and Misfit was not a good battle, but because of the fuckery, that's kind of why I feel that way right now. I'm kind of like, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I
You
was
need
just
to
saying
talk about.
it took away from it just took away from everything, the momentum of it.
Well, that's what the fuckery is. What made this event less than the stellar platform that we visited just back in April. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's harp on that for a little minute right there, because a lot was said after this Sarah and Misfit battle that like was the topic of many conversations in many battle rap groups. And as soon as I got on this morning, the first thing I saw was a post from Misfit who was like, first of all, and this is not verbatim, but she's like, first of all, I'll show you a copy of your goddamn contract. There's no way I would agree to not being who I am as a battle rapper to appease you. You sound crazy right now. And she basically, and I agree with her. You know, and I'm gonna go right into it after I say this. You know, as a battle rapper, you are having verbal annihilation. As a battle rapper, your job is to show bloodshed verbally. Okay? And that's whatever that means. And we're not gonna act like that's
Can I want to say one thing, and I'm gonna let you have the floor real fast because I need to do something real quick, and I'm gonna let y'all talk about this, and I'll come back. But do understand, for anybody who is watching this show right now or who will watch this show later on, everybody in this panel can understand and empathize with the loss of a relative. Okay, Shy is a year in with the loss of his grandmother. Although it's been quite some time since I lost my mother, I lost my entire family. So don't think for a second our comments are being insensitive, but we have a battle rapper that is also Mike, who is also, you know, a part of our crew. We got two, matter of fact, right? We got two. So we're a well-rounded bunch. And I just wanted to say that before anybody kind of starts to try to fill away instead of understanding what's being said to them right now. So go ahead, Angie, and I'll be right back. I'm sorry, y'all.
so again, thank you, Wing, for that. Because so here's my thing. I've never created waves when it concerns any of the talent. I actually have had a deep, profound appreciation for every female battle rapper. I think it takes so much guts to do what you do. However, the problem was initially that Farrah had with Misfit was that Misfit had kind of went there and started talking about the passing of family members. So here's what I'm going to say. Number one, Farrah, I have witnessed you online annihilate people. And as an interpersonal interaction with your fans, with other battle rappers, I have seen you and you know, here's the anomaly in all of that, because I have seen you do your very best to try and uplift, and then I have seen you get caught up in moments where you're tearing people to shreds. So if there was a clause that you had decided to have signed into your contract that stated this, why take the battle at all if you know how Misfit gets down? You know Misfit doesn't care. She has always been the same way from the moment she touched the platform. She has always been who she is unapologetically as a talent. So now this is the biggest issue that you can arrive. And my personal opinion, and please do not take away from the idea that I do not think you are not a fire talent yourself, Farrah, because you indeed are. You are a package. But I think that once you realized you were losing steam and potentially losing the battle in that of itself, that you got caught up in that idea and it went through your head, and before you had time to process it logically, you acted out emotionally on it. And as a result of that, it came off whiny, temper tantrumish, and just unprofessional.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. I take great pride in the women of battle rap. When I do have discussions about women in battle rap, I argue on behalf of each and every one of you. That's on God. Like I don't let the battle rap male fans say anything to, especially on a one-on-one. If I can be in your eyeball and we having this discussion, some of these men would absolutely believe that to some degree that you're a distant family member or an immediate family member because I'm ready to fight for you at the drop of a dime because I believe in your integral role in this culture. I think you are more powerful than you guys even believe to yourselves. And I think what happened is you created a situation that now creates a mockery. Now people can laugh. Now people could say, and this is the problem, and this is what I was telling Wing Mojo earlier today. I said the sad part is that men don't take the women in the culture seriously to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, you gave them ammunition now to absolutely agree with each other on this.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're all patting each other on the back, doing what they like to do best, and that's disrespect women.
Yep. Because they go,
And the
they be like,
of this
oh,
culture.
it happened with Miss Hustle. Now it's happening with Farrah, and they just go. The list goes
You know,
keep going.
it's a never ending vicious cycle that if the women don't make the moves to make something different, you're going to continue to get the same results you've been getting for the last 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and even when, there have been people that have stopped me on the street and been like, because, the pink hair or whatever, it catches eyes or whatever. And they'll be like, you was at this, I seen you on YouTube or da-da-da-da. And then we'll start a conversation about battle rap. And like, I'm more avid with the women than I am with the men. And that's no disrespect to the men. I just want to see the women excel so much that I get very involved in a lot of different ways. And they would be like, I don't take that shit seriously. They're not, they're not believable. They're not this. They're not that. It's always a cat fight going on. It's always thing. And it's like, boy, first of all, let's not even act like that doesn't happen at URL, RBE, and all that other stuff. They're just, they're just a little bit better at putting the cap on it. But when what I'm saying now is that this emotional overload that you had, Farrah, definitely is not. It's a black eye on what happened. And instead of saying, you know what, tonight she was the better MC, tonight she was the better battler, tonight she got that, and probably opening the door to a rematch, you kind of like went on a limb. And everybody has an opinion, and you have avid fans who are following behind you and who support everything that you say. You are the holy grail of words when it concerns your own personal interactions as a professional, and they go with you for that. They ride with you, but that don't mean they right, sis. That don't mean that they on point with it. It feels good to have camaraderie when you're feeling at a low point. But that doesn't make it logical for you to do what you're doing right now, to be as angry or as emotional as you are right now. We're talking about battle rap. And as a result, people are laughing at everything. Why? Why be the butt of someone else's joke? Why is that a comfortable situation for you? And why put the rest of the other talents in that same box? Because you couldn't register for the moment. Okay, this is going on. I may not like it, but I gotta push forward. So with that being said, I just feel like, Farrah, I've seen you do some things. We're not gonna act like you innocent, because you're not. Queen, you are not. But you are fire. And that does not take away from who you are as a talent. You're a powerhouse of talent at that. You bring in the ticket buyers. People want to come see you. They travel from far and wide. People want to mingle with you so bad they throw goddamn barbecues in your honor. Like, let's not act like these things are not realities for you. But at the same time, you forgot your place in this culture because you are a staple in this culture. Yeah, people. We had a big argument, right? And she was named one of the top 10 pins. And at that time, in my opinion, I felt like, oh, there's a couple of other people that could be in that position. And I was argued down because of the body of work that you put in. So what I'm saying is, Farrah, and yes, I'm talking to you directly, Queen, certain things you got to get better with. You can't be a goon all over the world, and then when you get on that stage, all of a sudden, all matters are sensitive and delicate. You can't do that. It makes no sense. And Misfit, I'm sorry that your comeback came back into this way. I'm so happy you're back. I hope you stick around. I hope this doesn't interfere with things that you may want to do on a platform. I really want to see more of you. I miss the shit out of you. And I think there is no better place for you other than that stage outside of your music, because I love your music as well. So if anybody else has anything to say, I think that Farrah needs to hear. I'm not angry with you. I'm really disappointed in the idea that it went down like this. I think that you have a better brain than what you allowed us to see. I think you let us see the emotional aspect of who Farrah is. And that's okay, Queen. That part is okay, but not this way. Not like this. This was wrong. So, I know y'all, I'm sorry, I could go on and on about the ethical aspects.
I don't know too much about the situation. I know you guys are all in the Queen of the Ring groups. I'm not in there, so I don't see how everything played out. What I do feel like, I see both sides of the fence. It's battle rap. Niggas gonna say whatever. Niggas going to say whatever to break you down. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes there is like an unwritten, there's like an unwritten rule. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things you don't talk about. Like for example, like when Nitty and Twerk was getting into it, or during their battle, Nitty heard him mention his mom, his mom had passed. It's like it automatically triggers. You're like, yo, you're not about to talk about my dead mother. So it's kind of like a natural instinct. But I understand also at the same time, it's like, yo, this is battle rap. Niggas are going to say whatever.
What is that? But what does that mean for the arsenals, for the QBs of the mix? What is that? Because we're not going to act like battle rap is not about disrespect.
That's why I say I see both sides of the fence. Because you know that. Because that's what I say. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of stuff, especially when you step in the ring with a misfit or a QB. You know what I'm saying? Arsenal straight up told Shotty Horror, like, fuck your dead uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Shotty took it cool. Like, you could tell he was hot about it, but he didn't react. Like, in a sense that would mess up.
And that's what I'm saying. And you could have taken that, you could have rebutted it. There were so many different avenues to travel down other than doing what's being done now on social media platforms. You understand? Yeah. Because your time...
I haven't seen what she's been saying on social media. I haven't seen Farrah pop up on my Instagram in a minute. So I haven't been seeing what's been going on. So I'm gonna have to look.
The thing is that it's just, you can't get angry in the moment that this is you the two stars are right there. The thunder is coming. With that thunder, you have to expect that something is going to happen. So if she gonna be thunder, be fucking lightning. Mm-hmm. If somebody's gonna be a storm, somebody need to be a tsunami. Mm-hmm. The idea is to outbest your opponent. And while she may have touched on a sore topic, while she may have been the one to venture into a territory that none of us would want. Listen, I can't be a battle rapper. You gonna hurt my motherfucking feelings immediately. Period. You're gonna hurt my feelings. I know that. So with that being said, anything goes in that ring.
Yeah, you
We're
got to be a
talking about
professional. You got to expect
Yep.
the unexpected if you're gonna be a battle rapper.
it's a blood sport for real.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, either you gonna take it or not. If not, then it ain't the sport for you.
It ain't for you.
So
Yeah,
with that being said, should stuff like that be in contracts? Should people be like, oh, I don't want you to say this, that, and the third, and it needs to be in a
See,
contract?
but then you watering down battle rap at that point.
yeah.
You cannot water down battle rap like that. You cannot do that.
Niggas do not want no diet battle rap. Sorry.
Because when I saw that, I was just like, well, you take away from, the creativity of what somebody could say. Like,
And I
wow.
seen Pharaoh get disrespectful, so it just like I don't know, it's just kind of
That's what I'm
weird
saying,
even hearing that
Farrah.
this is the situation.
And
Usually
that's
Pharaoh
exactly what I'm
welcome.
saying.
I would think Pharaoh will welcome that if she want
I've
to battle.
seen Farrah annihilate people. I've seen her make people disappear. I've watched it happen.
Her
So with
and
that
Shoney so
being,
disrespectful. Like it's kind of crazy. Like yeah, it's kind
listen,
of weird.
let's talk about 40 bars and Tori Doe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You understand? We're talking about ultra sensitive content right there. And Tori took that licking and came back ticking like a motherfucker. That was the epitome of what we need to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know what? You're sending a message to the new battlers. Oh, that's a nice headshot, Mike. But
Thank you.
yes, you're sending a message to the new battlers. And listen, who you were when you came into the ring to who you are now, and I'm talking to the legends and the icons, the top tiers, the Mount Rushmores, and the top 10 pins and battlers of the year. I'm saying who you were and how you have evolved came straight off of the idea of how lyrical you can be and how creative you could be with whatever content you came up with. Whatever content. So now we're going to start watering it down and saying that this is this and this. We should not be doing this, this, and this.
Yeah,
Battle rap has been this way from the corner, from the curb. When we knew somebody couldn't wash their ass and they had shit stains in the drawers. It has been this way from the beginning of time. Now all of a sudden we got to change the rules. Now all of a sudden this is a necessary thing. You can't keep changing the rules to appease your mind. Now, had that been somebody else, you would see somebody like Farrah saying, "Oh, sis, you should have blah blah. You should have came in her for this. You should have came in her for that." Let's not act like those are not conversations that really happen. I'm just saying, that it was such a major blow to hear that that's something that even had taken place, that you had even gotten so blown out of proportion that you felt it necessary to say the things that you said, for someone to feel like they needed to defend themselves for being exactly who they are. Why am I apologizing for being me? What you've known me to be this way since the minute I touched the stage. Now all of a sudden I gotta be apologetic. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You signed up for this shit. Take it. Once you sign up for it, it's no holds barred. That's it. And you should have thought about a different opponent then, if that had been the case.
Yeah.
I don't know who set this up, whose idea it was or whatever, but you weren't ready for anything that Misfit had to throw your way. At all, period. Nothing you were ready for.
So do you think the battle's gonna look okay once the footage drops?
I hope that they know how to finesse it and make it to what it can be. And you know what? Not for nothing, and not as a shot to Farrah, but to show the reality of what bars are. Because we always talk about, even Wing says it. It kind of bothers me a little bit. That the women in the culture have a niche. No, they're contenders too. They are ball heavy like a motherfucker. Can put half of the gods and Mount Rushmores that we have on Mount Rushmore of men to shame. I've always believed in the potential of the women. Not because like, oh, I'm women empowerment and all that shit. Because I see clever, intelligent, brilliant women who sit down with their pen and paper and come up with the most. I swear they should write books. They should write movies. Man, look, I get
I'm reading a
passionate about
post.
it.
I'm reading a post right now that says, "Damn, I hate to say it, Queen of the Ring will never go far. I don't know what the fuck Debo is doing behind the scenes, but it's always some shit." Uh,
Damn.
Mm. I mean, this ain't
right.
the first. This ain't the first time that we ever hearing about this. It seems like when shit goes
But
wrong,
you know what?
it
Debo
all
can't be
Debo.
to blame for that though. This was something completely out of Debo's control.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have the you have where Farrah is on 15 Minutes of Fame, basically saying, "Hey, the contract was supposed to say this, the contract was supposed to say that," and not for nothing. Let me say this too, because there needed to be a correction, because Robin never spoke about her mother. Robin actually spoke about her child, and that's another thing that she says that she does not tolerate, and that it should be in contracts. But Robin said that they never even had a contract. So I don't know if there's been a miscommunication where one person might be told one thing and one person might be told another, like with the twerk and hustle battle. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like you have to be a professional. I don't know if you said this already, but like with the way I look at it, I don't see lines when it comes to male or female battle rap. It's all battle rap. It's all battle rap. I don't see white boy battle rap. I don't see black or gangster battle rap. I just see words. I just see lyrical combat, whether it be male or female. So with that said,
I'm
I
with
feel
you.
like I feel like where the women talk so much about the bag and the bag that they don't get, that the men get. These are little things that you can change. When they see top tiers, female top tiers acting in certain ways, then that devalues somebody else putting you on a different platform. You can't, I mean, you can do what you want to do, but you can't really say, "Oh, I don't care about this and I don't care about that." Because at the end of the day, that doesn't just hurt you, that hurts the brand. So you always have,
Facts.
well, Devo is doing this and Devo is doing that. And that hurts the female battlers that come behind you, because they feel like as a collective, this is the shit y'all do. It can take one, that how they always say one bad apple ruins it for the bunch. It's the truth. And where these girls have learned to keep themselves relevant, to have learned to do so many different things, little shit like this is what men in battle rap take and run with. I can't take these broads seriously because they always crying and bitching about something. I was gonna also say, you can bitch, cry, and moan about it, but then you have Goods who just did a battle with Cassidy, and Goods righted his wrong. He started a whole fucking melee at RBE when his daughter was, well, with that whole debacle or misunderstanding or whatever you want to call it, with the situation with his daughter. This time he took a different approach. This time, I feel like this was such a big deal for him that I recall, I can't remember if that was an interview or if it was a tweet or whatever, but he made that clear that his daughter said to him, "Listen, I ain't worried about it." But understandably, this is something that for him, he took very seriously, because yes, as his daughter gets older and people begin to know, like align the two, this is something that, yes, she has to grow up with. So you don't want your child, especially with men with their daughters, you don't ever want your daughter to be violated by anybody. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I can understand where he was coming from with that, just as well as I can understand Farrah's frustration with how this was handled or whatever the case may be. But we got to keep it a buck. If you were losing, and that may have played a factor, if other things going on around you played a factor, and whatever, to Misfit is saying one thing in regard to the contract, and then if Misfit is being truthful and the contract comes out and there was no such thought about that or words about that, where does that leave Farrah?
Well, she
Little
won't be
bit,
looking good. She definitely won't look good if their contract come out and they say that it's true. But my
little
thing
bit.
is, Farrah, like you one of those disrespectful as
She
battlers.
is.
But like
Right.
I said, it don't
Yeah.
sound right. Like it sound like
She
I'm
is.
sorry. It just sound like a weak move. Like you know how to
And
come
she
back from
is
that.
that person. She
Like look,
absolutely is.
I would think she would invite that. That was the type of energy that she would want to have a good ass battle.
And because you are a vet in this game, and because you are a vet in this game, you were supposed to have handled that a little differently.
I was just
I
about
mean,
to say
I
that, Wing.
understand.
I agree with you, Wing, 100%. Like, and Ange mentioned this earlier as well. Like, being a vet, being somebody who is the upper echelon of, you know what I'm saying, women battle rap, and with the platform that they've created, you have to have a certain type of poise. You have to have a certain type of poise, regardless of like, Misfit's gonna come in there swinging for the fences.
Mm-hmm.
You know this.
Anything to win. Anything to win.
Ain't that the object though? Excuse me if I'm crazy or whatever. Isn't that what it's supposed to be anyway?
Yeah, pretty much. No, I would say this just sound weird that this be even saying that this is even a possibility that Farrah even saying this right now. Like it was just like Arsenal saying some shit like that.
Like how many
And that's
people
what
got
I'm
on
saying.
Tory?
Like
How many people got on Tory Doe about her having an abortion?
facts. I brought that up already. That's what I'm saying. Like we're not gonna act like y'all don't do this. This is what y'all do.
Right. Let me read what Hustle just said, and shout out to her. Hustle said
Hey, hustle, babe.
everything. Yeah, Hustle said everything is funny until there's no brand for the ladies to showcase their talent.
Facts.
It's it's bad enough the men don't respect us. We deserve and give us the respect that we deserve, and always attach us to the drama. We just the drama that we're providing them, right with the fuckery. I'm the last person that's gonna preach, that's gonna be preaching, but wake up, y'all, seriously. I applaud her for that because that's big of her. At the end of the day, you have to look at that. It's a much bigger picture. You know what I mean? Y'all, being that they are the ladies that push this brand forward, everything lies on y'all. It just does. You may not want that responsibility, but it does. Norbs had made a Norbs, and I guess because this comes so hard right now because he made the points that he made, and because he's more of a his fan base are more male driven than female driven. You got to understand when you have bloggers and other media outlets that are talking about Queen of the Ring in such a bad light, calling y'all divas and basically saying because he's in these groups basically. And I don't know that they're, we can say, oh, we don't take Norb seriously, but when you're proving him to be right hours before your battle, it hits harder. So at the end of the day, where this could have been a great event, and everything, not to say that there's not going to be issues at the event, but this is the thing that they're going to harp on what you do most because you are the top tier.
Facts.
Do y'all feel like this a do or die situation now with Queen of the Ring? Like it's kind of like now or never for them to get their shit together to where
Absolutely.
It's
to where the
not.
plat.
It's not. Okay, so it's not Queen of the Ring, the platform itself. Let's be very clear. It's up to the women now. If you're gonna be in a leadership role, God damn it, lead. And don't lead the innocent to slaughter if you're not gonna help them hone who they're gonna be. If you don't help them learn how to elevate like you learned how to elevate. I don't know what Queen of the Ring did in terms of the earlier processes of when they started to come together. But I know that in the early stages of Queen of the Ring and their uprising, that I saw queens who were phenomenal in talent. I'm talking about I saw Official come through the door. I saw Bonnie come through the door. I saw, when Queen of the Ring platform really started to elevate and get the views and start to become a household name. What was it that was being done then? Because the Don ladies, the J Smooths, the Lex Benkos, the K Prophets, and all of that stuff, what happened? Because there was something in place that helped them to levitate. Now it's the blind leading the blind. What are you doing? If you're going to be a mentor, a leader, an icon, a legend, you want to be top 10 pin, you want to be a Mount Rushmore, you have to earn that. And not just on the stage, but everywhere you go. You're a professional now. And guess what? Even though you might not look at it like that, but you're famous. You got 100,000 views, million views, 2 million views, 10 million views. How do you not see that you are integral to where the culture goes for the women now? How do you not see that? I don't know. I get so passionate and so angry and disappointed. It's just like, girls, please. I see the potential in every last one of these women every time. And you're not doing any favors for the new women coming to the game. You're not doing them any favors. Some of them are actually looking at you like, that's dumb. You look dumb. And some of them just want to get on so bad that they're going to follow in your footprints and they're going to fail. So get it right. Get it together. Debo, if you need to give goddamn what's those classes they used to give women back in the day? Not etiquette classes. Teach these women how to talk to media. Teach these women how to respond to one another. Not just that though. I'm talking about real life shit. Because you forget that there are hundreds and thousands of people watching you. They're really watching you, mimicking you. Farrah is beautiful. And when she goes above and beyond to be a little bit extra, she is drop dead, knock them the fuck out gorgeous. Women are trying to be that. Trying. Bring some of that lady over to them and share your secrets. Show us that you're so much more than just what we think you are on the stage. Why do we love people why do we love people that are like C3? She lets it all hang out. I am who I am. It's unapologetically too. I feel like it's not the platform's responsibility. Yes, remind the women, okay?
Oh,
you're doing
no. It's definitely the platform. Listen,
I can't.
Hold on, because I feel the same way I feel about the males on on URL and it on URL as I do RBE, King of the Dot.
How come I don't see you?
You don't see me?
No,
we don't see you.
I don't see Mojo either.
Mojo.
I'm here.
Oh wow. Wait.
We're still live though. There you go. Okay.
Oh, you see me? Okay,
Yeah.
I don't
Now.
know what the hell. This entire time I've been sitting up here looking at myself, and like the screen wasn't changing. That was weird. But as I was saying, I I actually for the guys for the male league, I feel like it is there is a somewhat of a responsibility for there to be just kind of like record labels. You should have the publicists, you should have the AR and the PRs. You know what I mean? These are the people who help you to develop what you need to be to evolve. You can't leave it to like you were kind of saying, you know, you guys are supposed to set the precedents, but I feel like they should to a degree, but I feel like there should always be that one person in place, because the way I look at it, like when Farrah and Shuni kind of were talking about that before, you know, the girls were like, oh, you didn't show us this, y'all didn't teach us that. Listen, they are ops. I wouldn't trust my op as far as I could throw them to teach me anything, because you are my op. You feel what I'm saying? There's things that I feel like the girls should have definitely peeped from Farrah's, the Shunies, Hustles, QBs, all of the girls before them. Definitely, you were supposed to soak up that game. But I don't necessarily feel like it should completely be on them when they are still in battler mode to be this. You see what I'm saying? I feel like that is more of a Babs role that she should play.
Especially with Babs being as like the path she's taken to get where she is now, being under a major record label and knows what it takes to develop an artist. I can agree with that.
I feel like that, you know, I feel like the where, you know, the time that Debo took to make sure that everything went off with a hitch, or with no issues at the last event. I feel like, I don't know that it wasn't that, but I feel like there should be just as much there should have been just as much emphasis put on this situation, if that makes sense. I mean, you know, the vendors, I mean, y'all got to understand that y'all also affect the not vendors, the sponsors that come in through the door too.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame that we're talking more about this than the damn battles.
Right. And actually, yeah, I didn't want to beat a dead horse. Oh, I hear feedback.
Yeah, me too.
Where's that coming from?
I don't know.
No idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Okay, well, yeah, and the fact that we can't really talk too much about the battles because we're constantly talking about this. But getting into the battles, here's my thing. Like I said, the event that we had, or that they had, I feel like we should have definitely. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I think this might be who I'm looking
I think we
for.
lost Mojo too. Then Mojo still?
Yeah,
No.
I sent her another invite. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's Mojo. I feel like there needs to be a shift. I feel like the next event, I need to see Tia. I need to see Jade. I need to see Torture with
Mm.
better names.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that. Crickets?
I
So
don't
who?
know anything about. I don't know anything about torture. Only thing I think I've seen Tia battle once.
Well, that's Furious Styles. Furious Styles, Torture, and Jade did the three-way, right? They were the next three up. Well, Jade had been there, but they were the next up for We Go Hard at
Shout
the
out to
time.
Fury. Fury needs to. I had a conversation with her because she went down there and AVR and kind of and choked in her battle up there.
Yeah,
And I'm on her
yeah,
head
hard.
about it. I'm on her head about it because she has so much talent. Her bars are incredible, and I feel like she needs to. I told her I was like, stop slacking. Stop waiting to the last minute to write your bars.
Yeah,
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Like you're going on a different platform. Like you have so much going for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Put 100%, please. Seriously, she know I love her. I have nothing but love for her. I've known her going on like 6, 7 years, and she's been one of my favorites to watch because she has so much potential.
Who
And
you talking about?
Furious
Furious
Style.
Style,
Yeah, she dope. She just gotta
Okay.
stay focused. She just gotta stay focused.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, if she right at the last minute, yes, please stop that shit.
she's
That
so
shit
fine.
is definitely don't work.
Well, that's what I want. Mojo, how about you?
Well, why is it so hard to get these girls a good
Oh,
a good name?
And your background.
Okay.
Why is it so hard for them to get like a bigger name? Like why they have these girls just sitting like that though?
And that's another problem. That's another
Because
problem.
they're
There,
dope.
I think I said that already. I really don't. I really didn't feel like there was a
See,
need.
but that's what Norbs had talked about yesterday. These
Yeah,
women are afraid. They're afraid to be taken out by some of these new jacks. And then make no mistakes about it. We got some real heavy hitters. We got real problematic women coming up in the ranks now.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I feel like this event, I could have saw Cheddar. These are the people that I feel can take Queen of the Ring to the next level, and we can kind of start uh moving out some of the girls that may not, and maybe put them in other positions with Queen of the Ring.
Mm.
But I can definitely see Torture.
Yeah.
And this is in no order. I feel like Torture is, and this is no disrespect to her because she's been working, but I feel like she is of these women that can usher in this new wave. She might be the lowest one on that totem pole, but I definitely need to see her in that ring building herself up
Mm-hmm.
because she hasn't gotten it just yet, but she's on her way. So, but I would definitely like to see Torture. I would definitely like to see, like I said, my three. That's Torture, Tia, and Jade. Jade and Tia being the strongest. Jade and Tia can be Shuni and Farah, in my opinion.
Mm.
I need K
That's
Profit
heavy.
to come back.
Whew. Definitely need K Profit.
Mm-hmm.
I Misfit had a great showing, and I really feel like we didn't see enough of Misfit along the years because she
Definitely need
went on
more
to her
Misfits.
music. Right. I feel like Gaddis needs to stop playing and bring her ass
Oh
back.
my God. Come on, Gaddis. You play too much.
You
I
feel
thought she
me?
was back
I,
though, but
yeah, she was. She wasn't. I don't know what's
hmm.
going on with Gaddis. She's here today, gone tomorrow. But those are the people that I feel like with the right battles in the next two events, they can start we can start flourishing in these other girls. I think Unique Fatal might be back around. I feel
That
like
would be dope.
Flawless, I need Fendi. There are a
We need
plethora.
we need Fendi. We need Fendi. Damn
There
Fendi.
is a plethora.
Yeah, this I have been saying this for a long time now. I'm glad it's being
And
said
not
out
for
loud.
nothing. And not for nothing. I mean, and when Nemesis comes back, I need Nemesis.
Yes.
Nemesis has work to do too. That's another one of my
Cheddar.
artists.
Cheddar.
Cheddar. Oh, damn! I forgot to say Cheddar. I wasn't even done. I had to, this is off the top, but these are the girls that I feel like and Mulatto needs to be more consistent also.
Hell yeah. That last performance, child. Oh my God.
And not for nothing, if they can reconcile with my other artists, I would love to see Robin back as well. I'm just saying, you know.
I'm saying we forgive all the other shit,
Mm-hmm.
and it be shit to forgive. We can definitely see Robin come back in there. Who just left?
Shy.
Shy.
Oh,
I
okay.
think she got a call.
Okay. But yeah, there's a rumble underground. We need to start digging them up and letting them just loose. We need to start
Right. I
structuring these
mean,
cards
and
so
not for
that these women
nothing.
can learn.
Right. And not for nothing, amongst these girls, like I said, I put some girls that are already vets. But yeah, 40 needs to be back on these cards. Uh uh um Couture is now back. Couture needs to be on these cards. I don't know where the hell Don Lady disappeared to, but you know what I mean? Oh, Jada, god damn it, Jada Ray. You got enough girls that need to be on cards. And I understand there needs to be money to come into the door, but and we're trying to build the
Mix,
esteem of the ring back up. And then you have guys that don't mind battling. Twerk don't give no fucks about coming over there to battle. And he's gonna give 110%.
Mm-hmm.
You
Swamp
know, there
Swamp
was a
said he
comment.
wants to. Swamp said he wants to battle a female. Bring him to Queen of the Ring.
Bring him to Queen of the Ring. I mean, there's a battle right now that I'm trying to set up with Jade and my other male artist, Riggs. Riggs and Jade want to battle it. Riggs was like, he will smoke Jade. What the
Ooh.
fuck are we waiting for? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Jade has put her, listen, she done did the grunt work. There is,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not speaking because I'm her manager. I'm speaking because I was a fan of her before we even got into this round. That girl is better than half of these people. She has URL acclaim. She has We Go Hard acclaim. And now she has Queen of the Ring acclaim. She has
Mm-hmm.
3 platforms where she had to do what she needed to do. Now, her and Diesel did not go down the way it was supposed to go down. But her and Flames, she beat Flames. She beat the dog shit out of Rome. URL knows who she is. She has a following. And they're wondering why the hell, number one, I understand, trust the process, because she had to do a sparring session. Understandable. But now she should be getting a big
Mm-hmm.
plate. There's no
Yeah.
reason why she should have had to battle Panic. I fucks with Panic too.
I do too.
I feel
Yeah.
like I fuck with Panic way back in Danger Zone Battle League. Like
Well, you
I
know,
fell in with her the long way.
I saw Jade sparring on a corner, and I was like, "We
Yeah,
getting you to the
sure
stage immediately."
did, sure
You
did.
know, so
And this is a
man,
hobby. This for Jade is a hobby. This is not her bread and
yeah,
butter.
nope.
This is a hobby for her. But
That's
Jade
why
is
she,
ready to
that's
be
why she be showing up every goddamn where. She misses
right.
everywhere herself.
She
Yeah,
loves it. She loves it. But the thing about Jade is when it becomes a struggle and it becomes that she starts to have anxiety about shit and it's basically rubbing her the wrong way, she's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Everybody is too. And you know
she
what it is? You stifle the talent. You sit on them. You doubt their credibility. You doubt the levels of talent that they have. What happened?
well, no, I was about to bring the other prodigal son on. Um, no, she. Let me tell you this because I was trying to go with a point there. She expressed to me about the politics. Well, we talk about the politics all the time, but she's very upset about the fact that, you know, and I'm just gonna say it the way she said it, and I don't really care how it's taken. I'll be out here.
Uh-oh.
It's a fact.
Did you see my halo? Did you see the
It's a fact. But it's a fact though. It is a definite fact.
feels
You
like
know, and that's the one thing about Jade. She's been no nonsense since she stepped into the scene.
right.
Period.
She's not a cocky person. She's a very humble person.
Mm-hmm.
But she feels like there's no fucking way that I should be made to clap my ass all
Mm-hmm.
over Facebook just to get a battle.
I feel that. Yeah, I feel that.
You know what? And not for nothing. If that's the case, I don't really see any ugly women on the platforms. You know that? Like there's like no real. They just don't exploit their sexuality. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
And that should not be a requirement.
here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. Us little dark skinned chicas, me and Mojo, you know what I mean? Me being BBW, her being, cute little fine shape, whatever the case may be. We may have it harder than somebody else that may be hourglass, know everybody, light skin. And I hate to say it that way. We're not gonna be all in people's faces, and I get that all the time. Like when why you don't let me know you standing right next to me? Why you don't say nothing? Because there's this stigma in female battle rap, not just for battlers, but the
Mm-hmm.
stigma in female battle rap is you basically are doing something to get on.
Yeah.
When
Mm,
Caps
Mm-hmm.
went through our situation, it was the core fans that felt like, whatever y'all know how they felt as far as that situation. But then you have motherfuckers that felt like, oh, she was just trying to get a part of his situation and this, that, and the third. That knew nothing about what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Knew nothing about what was going on. Nobody, he wasn't even he didn't even have a show when I had met him. You know what I mean? People start to label you as females in this game for what they feel you're trying to attribute to. And unfortunately, there are some that do that.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that do that.
yeah, yeah, and you know what? And that's what I wanted to say. There's nothing wrong with if you want to use that as an exploitation promo process. There's nothing wrong with it. And I personally love a beautiful woman. So if this is what you're doing, then fine. But
Right.
the other side of the politicking to that is be prepared for
For
what
the
comes
back,
your way.
Mm-hmm.
right. For the
Yeah,
back,
exactly.
right. I
Don't
mean,
get mad.
and the people that I'm closest to, will tell me in a heartbeat. Men that I'm closest to that will tell me in a heartbeat. No, when you don't go around, you don't get on cam looking crazy. When we started this live thing, and not that I would anyway, but I'm a tomboy by nature. I don't always want to do my goddamn hair. I don't always want to have to do it. I don't always
You
want
Yes.
see me, I got y'all in the dungeon with me. I'm looking right dusty.
I feel like Mojo when she came with the do-rag the other day. Shit,
Right. I'm
what's
like,
up in head? You know what I mean? But
Right.
ultimately, ultimately that my mother always told us, kid, when you are doing anything, you better get damn near fully dressed before you walk your ass out the door. You know what I mean? You better, you know what I mean? So, like, naturally, I understand. We are visually stimulated people, and so you definitely want to be able to look a certain part. I understand that. We do that in interviews. It's not just about putting on your church clothes or your professional attire. You gotta make sure your hair is combed. You gotta make sure you look a certain way. You know what I mean? So I get that. But some things are just overboard. And that is unfair that some girls, I mean, even with the plight for AGs in battle rap back in the day, Lex Banco, C3, Prophet, Misfit, they weren't looked at as,
Gaddis.
Gaddis, right? Gaddis went through a whole. If y'all didn't catch that interview, y'all gotta
That mm-hmm.
channel because we got that one too. Gaddis gave us the reason why she went through so many transformations. She did that right there in front of us because of the acceptance or lack thereof from the battle rap community.
oh wow.
she felt like, and she felt like
And
they
it
were
wasn't just battle rap, but she was definitely trying to do that mainstream thing.
and mainstream,
And
right? Mainstream, yeah. So
so this is what they told her that she had to do.
right, right. So she went through her transformations, but at the end of the day, this is for our girls. It's like, again, when we start putting them in boxes, that this is what females are supposed to do. Because remember, it was guys. Oh, I can't watch female battle rap because they're not believable. But you live in the hood, and you got hood bitches that you deal with every single day that will shoot your ass off before a nigga will. That will take that bullet before a nigga will. That is out here running keys across wherever. So how can you say that these girls are supposed to be this and supposed to be that, and that they can't have alternate lives?
Right.
How can you not? You know what I mean? Like, who are we to say what putting a box on what we are supposed to do? You know what I mean? And yeah, we're not in the 60s where a woman was supposed to be seen and not heard, so you can't really say that. But again, that goes back to what we're saying in regard to this Queen of the Ring thing. And you made a point that, or Shy made a point that, what's the state of Queen of the Ring if they don't get it together?
Mm.
I feel like Queen of the Ring I feel like the respect will not come back until they completely clean up their fucking act. I don't even want to go into the fight because we spent damn near an hour on this. I don't even want to talk about the fight. It happened. This is one of the things that the shit that happens. I feel like promotion, because negative promotion begets positive promotion somehow. That's so weird, but it does in battle rap.
It does. It does.
I feel like we're looking at the same situation that we had with Twerk and Hustle, and Misfit and Farrah will get the views, and we'll be fine. I hope
I think so.
I hope she takes from this the fact that the only reason why people or our opinions are what they are is because of the spot that she has in female battle rap, and people look toward her to be a leader and have more professionalism.
Absolutely.
I just feel like that's where it is.
Absolutely.
On to other topics. I do think Queen of the Ring the best, though. I'm gonna always continue to watch, and I'm gonna always continue to be like, you know what? Hey, salute to whoever. I'm going to watch the footage when it does come out. Hopefully, it will come out quickly. Unfortunately, I'm not going to support this particular event. I'm just not. Because again, although it translated great on paper, I just feel like the bigger piece of the puzzle to me is get these girls that are fresh blood, hungry in this fucking ring against our top tiers. And I'm done with that.
They are deserving.
Mike, you're on mute. You're on mute. We can't hear you, Mike.
The rookie versus vets type joint.
I don't really need a rookies versus vets though.
For the new girls?
I don't feel they're not rookies.
No, I'm saying I'm not. Oh, I said like a tight, not like a really like literal rookies versus vets. Kind of like the new generation versus the older generation type event.
That's cool. Or a
idols become rivals.
Oh,
that's a good
nice.
one.
Nice.
That's a damn good one.
I see you, Mojo.
Okay. And not for nothing, if if this can't be rectified, it does open the door for other situations. Bottom line. And where, you know, Queen of the Ring wants to fight that we started this and we did this and we did that. That's fine and that's beautiful. You started it all. But it's about keeping it.
Dang, Angie, look like y'all got some of that Seattle weather out there.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Thanks for
so
taking it off our hands.
moving right along, moving right along. I know that Flames' phone was messed up, so she unfortunately we may not be able to get her on right now. We'll see what happens. And RX will be coming on in a little bit. But moving right along, let's get into we have not been able to talk closure and you know what? Before we get to that, how do
Uh-oh.
you feel about this surf situation?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I seen Stewie say one of the realest shit in the post yesterday. Said I'd rather scream free my nigga than R.I.P. than scream for R.I.P. my nigga.
Facts. But it's
Okay,
sad. Then go ahead.
but wait. To me, that kind of gives, that kind of says to me that you're kind of co-signing the fact that he's a felon with a gun.
No, it's not that, but he lives a certain lifestyle.
No,
Where
no,
I mean, we see what happened. He got shot last year 5 times. He didn't have it on him.
okay, but hold on. This man got money. Joe Budden is your people.
But
He
that's his
chose to
people.
live that
That's not
lifestyle.
him. It's his people.
No. You
I
got
got
money.
$1 million relatives.
I do too. But
So do
So
I.
but the thing is, I can't depend on them. Like, if I'm living a certain way of life, if I'm living a certain way of life, if I'm in the streets, I have to carry myself like I'm in the streets. Unfortunately, if you're active like that, if you active gangbanger like that, regardless of what you do musically, sometimes you have to protect yourself.
Nipsey Hussle is an active gang member and he chose to do the right thing for his family.
You think he's still what? You think
Unfortunately,
he still wasn't carrying?
no, well, here's the thing. Yeah, he was. But at the end of the day, he had security to do that.
Surf don't got security.
Well, you know, then you make better choices. I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
I agree, but
empathize
at the
with
same
Sir.
time, I'm just like,
I
you know what? I
empathize with
get it.
Wait, Mojo, you're low. You're real low,
Am
Mojo.
I? I
Yeah, you
I
super low, boo.
empathize with Surf because like the man's been shot before, so that paranoia can do some crazy things to you. So of course he's gonna want to carry with him, regardless of his situation. I don't blame him.
Stay at home. Your house is not even there. You bought a brand new house away from all of that. Now, don't get me wrong. Listen, you know, because I did ask about this. I asked about this, and you know, the responses that I got, some people were just like, "Well, when you live that street life, when you do this, when you do that, whatever the case may be." Uh, Surf is a lot younger than me. And I am a suburb kid, and I chose, and so I can understand about wanting to be around the people that I related to the most, and that was my street niggas. I hung around some of the craziest. Like, I think today, like, you know what? I thank God for the fact that I didn't become a statistic
Mm-hmm.
because of some of the people that I chose to be around. But there is a time in your life when you have family, when you know, I don't know if Jersey, I hear that Jersey's gun laws are different, but I know in California there's three strikes you're out.
Mm.
This man has a child. Do you know you risk it all every single day? That this lifestyle that you're trying to grind to be the father for your child and be the provider, you you basically risk that every day because of that. I understand you want to be out here in these streets. I do. I get it. But there has to be, I'm about to say, what the hell? Like, I'm thinking jump out boys outside now. No. That was weird. You know what I mean? I get the paranoia because I, as y'all just saw, like that shit. I'm like, hold the fuck on, what's going on? That was a flashback, dead ass. That was a flashback. When you live a certain lifestyle, I get it. The people I used to hang around with, they taught me because of all the funk they used to be in. They taught me how I had to move. You know, I'm thinking I don't live here and this and that and the other, but I was with them on a daily basis. Somebody that I was with for a very long time, they knew who I was. And bullets had no names. Years later, after I moved, there was a huge shootout, and one of the guys, his baby's mother, matter of fact, she had just had that baby. His baby's mother and baby were in a car. And this is in anybody who knows anything about North Richmond. And this is something that if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But North Richmond is a place where you don't come to if you don't know nobody. There are other ways in. Police don't even come out there. But there's typically one way in, one way out, because they used to barricade the other ways. And nobody came through there if you didn't know anybody. And I just so happened to have been with some fast tail ass girls and stumbled on this place because one of the girls knew some dude that she was coming to see. And I have never been so fearful in my life, but I just have always been a person that I kind of, and I don't mean to be this way, but I've always kind of laughed in front of fear. I know that's weird as fuck. I know that sounds weird. I've had a 12 gauge put in my face and I laughed. And I didn't mean to. I'm scared than a motherfucker, but I laughed. But anyway, long story short, I get it. This is a place that I should have never been in my life. Never. And I thank God that when all of this was going down, all the takeovers and all this different shit, these niggas was grimy. And it was going to come one day. But I just so happened to have moved. I went to school. I left for school down south. And then when I did come home, I didn't come back to California. My mother had moved to Seattle, Washington. So I moved out there. And I did go to visit. And that's when I had found out that the guy that I was dealing with, this is his relative. They were killing off all his relatives. They had shot up the car 60 times. Shot up the car 60 times.
They wanted him dead.
Oh, they wanted him dead, and anybody who was with him. But again, this was in the heart of the neighborhood. There was no way that you was ever supposed to be able to get in the heart of the neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? Like, I get where you're coming from. I've had a situation where the niggas that I was dealing with, the nigga put a gun to my daddy's head and told him to leave. She's not leaving. You know what I mean? I get all that. I get it. But there's a time in your life that you get away from that shit. You've been shot that many times, you get away from that. You have a second chance at living. And I guess for me, I look at it as, I guess I have a harder time feeling a certain way because my brother was a gangbanger too. And when he decided he wanted to change his life, he was killed. One bullet, close range, so close range, it came through, he was shot in the chest and it came through his neck.
Oh God.
He was still running on adrenaline. He ran out of the alley. Matter of fact, Mike, this is downtown Seattle, right where the police precinct is on shit. I cannot remember it was right, the ferry was right in front of it. You know where the police station is, where they have the ferry now? Or the ferry where the police station is, it's like a small police station. It's an alley right there.
I'm trying to think because so much has changed.
I know. But yeah, long story short, I guess my feelings about it, I don't mean any harm to him when I speak up so passionately about it, but he's so talented. You know what I mean? He's so fucking talented. And it's just hard to kind of see a person, I feel, neglectful of what his life could be, to have been shot that many times. And you take it for granted because you have to be in them streets. And I lost the only brother that I have who was trying to get out of this life. And he was shot in retaliation because of a blood nigga that a whole nother set, a whole nother crib set, some young niggas that had shot his brother up. This one particular dude had shot his brother up. And my brother had no fear. And that's the thing about him too. He had no fucking fear. He didn't care. And he was good in every hood, actually. He was good in every hood. So the fact that this happened, it was like everybody know who Baby Tank was. So it was like you saw him, that's just the nigga that you don't fuck with. And he's downtown by himself, dolo. He left, he got into it with these dudes, it was 4 of them, beat their asses, left, came back downtown, and for some reason, he went to smoke with these niggas. My brother, that was weird to me because that's just not who he is. You know, you just got into some funk with some niggas, you don't go smoke with them. You know, but anyway, long story short, my brother lost his life trying to change his life. And unfortunately, Surf can't leave this alone, and you have so much riding on this. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of hard.
I feel you because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have a cousin. I feel, and I say this because, like, I understand where you come. I have a cousin who was, before Kendrick Lamar started popping, my cousin was the artist that Dr. Dre was working with. Like, Dr. Dre was pushing him. My cousin couldn't keep out of the streets. Now, he's older than me by a couple years, but he wouldn't stay out of the street shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you live in a $3.2 million house in Encino, in the Valley.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? You're driving fucking Range Rovers, Jaguars. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre is flying you across the over to different countries to record and write. You're getting these checks. Your neighbors with Exhibit and Tisha Campbell and Dwayne Martin. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you can't keep out of the streets. But at the same time, it's like some stuff you can't step away from. It's hard because that's what you've been accustomed to. You've been molded to this mindset for so many years that it's hard to just walk away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my cousin was living in the Valley, like, beautiful house, the most beautiful house I've ever been to in my life. You know what I'm saying? Big ass pool in the back, porn stars over there on fucking on holidays and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful life. But he couldn't stay out of what was going on in his hood in Watts. Ended up, he's in jail right now. He's in jail right now till next year.
That's crazy. And again, because I have family in Watts too. I have family Nicholson Garden, Jefferson. I mean, I have Compton. I have family that, you know, and I guess for us, I know I've said several times when we used to have to go out there, and I used to always wonder why the hell we got to come out here. So I understand. I do. You know what I mean? I do. But at the end of the day, it's just, and like you just said, he could not get away from it. I guess when I was younger, I couldn't either. You know what I mean? I never looked at it that way, but these are the people I was most comfortable around. And it was weird, but these are the people that I was most comfortable around. My mindset at the time was, I am this silver spoon kid, and I really don't want for and silver spoon meant something, I guess, then, but I didn't want to grow up this little valley girl. I think I can't remember if I was on the phone with Mojo or one of y'all. I was talking about, yeah, I used to do the punk rocker. I was a
Yeah,
whole
I remember that conversation.
yeah, I was a whole white kid. I'm not gonna front. I was a whole white kid. I was.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
Yeah. I mean, but I transitioned, you know, started hanging out with my little black friends, little fast ass little black girls. You know what I mean? And that's how I met these group of people. But like I said, you know, in that situation, I've always been that person that I'm good in every hood. Like that's my family, to be honest. That's my dad's side of the family. We good everywhere. You know what I mean? And it's just it kind of trickled on over to me. You know, that's matter of fact, that's how the people I was around. That's how I met Tupac. But um, I guess I couldn't stay away from that also. You know what I mean? I knew what the dangers were. And the guy that I was dealing with at the time, he you know, just dealing with all of them, like being cool, being around them. I love the knowledge that I soaked up. So I think that that's kind of why I used to always hang around them too. And I've always hung around older people. So, you know, but in the interim of it all, it still was not a good environment. And I didn't understand that then. But I was a teenager. This is a grown man. I don't know. Maybe I'm going a little bit too far into it. Like I said, he's so talented. He speaks very well. You know what I'm saying? Even though sometimes he be reaching and he be on his other shit, he's very articulate. And you can tell that the grooming from Button does a lot for him. You see what I'm saying? He does grasp certain things. But I guess when you have to balance that rock star life, it's hard. I do get that. You know what I mean? It's just hard to see such a talented young brother to turn around and something happens to him because he's being hard headed. Or that he turns around and he has to be locked down for the rest of his life when all he had to do was just make that choice to be more conscious about the shit that you do. Because there's a difference. There's a difference. I will say the difference between the dude that I dealt with and his relative, not saying that couldn't be him, but the dude that I dealt with had a twin brother. They moved a lot differently than a lot of their relatives. They never really was in the hood like that unless there was business to be handled. At 17, I had a condo in, well, of course it was, everything was his, but I had a condo in Hilltop, which is a place called Hilltop. It's by Hilltop Mall, Richmond. He had a lot of different places that, you know, y'all know, just you move around. They moved around a lot. And they were very strategic about how they did things. And I just feel like that strategic manner needs to happen. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I have no answers to it. It was something when I saw that, I was like, damn, sit your ass there. And I said that, sit your ass
But
there.
I hear he's not locked up no more. I hear he's out. I'm hearing that he's not locked up.
Huh?
I'm hearing that he's not locked up, that he's out. So it could have just been a rumor.
Okay.
Could have just been a rumor, because normally when something goes on with Surf, there's some kind of screenshot of his jail record or whatever, what he's locked up for, that he starts floating around.
Right. Okay.
Well, I didn't see anything this time around.
Well, in that case, salute to you, brother, and stay out of trouble. God damn it, because we kind of want you to be around for a while. You know, you definitely with your basketball analogies, and we definitely want you to be around for a minute.
Losing the nitty, you know what I'm saying? Like, we still want you out here.
You know what? We're gonna get into that. All right.
Anybody
Before we get into that,
anybody to lose the Geechee, we need you out here.
No. Before we get into that, let's go to closure and resolution.
Shout out to everybody in the comments. I seen whatchamacallit, D.I. the Henny Man was in the comments.
Hey, battle rap track.
What it do? I'm sorry. You know what? Di would have been perfect to have him on. We just kind of we had planned to have our interviews on, but that didn't work that way. But anyway, let's Mad TV Malone.
Whoever this is, America, Indian, Indigenous. This is a battle rap thing. But this does pertain to battle rap because we're talking about Sue Surf right now. American, Indian, Indigenous. I see you in the comments. I'm reading. So yeah, there's your answer.
Okay, so understand we appreciate you supporting and watching. We definitely talk battle rap, but we also are human, and we don't do antics. We just talk real life. You know what I mean? That's just we're real people. We talk real life, and sometimes people just don't like to hear that. I feel you. We're getting to the battle rap, but because we are affected by so much, we were affected by Tech Nine. We're affected by a lot of different stuff. We talk everything. There's so we get into the battle rap part. Let's talk closure resolution. We don't, we didn't get a chance to really go all into that, but y'all putting Cassidy.
Look who decided to show up.
Y'all putting Cassidy on Mount Rushmore?
That nigga needs to go on Mount Shitmore. Let's talk about it.
Who said hell no?
Cass will never ever go. You can't have two battles. You can't have three film battles and think you about to be on Mount Rushmore. Fuck no. No.
Am I still alive? Okay, I'm alive. That nigga goes on Mount Shitmore. Mount Rushmore.
I'm not gonna put him on Mount Shitmore. But this is the thing. Cassidy has to, if he's about to come into this culture now, you have to earn it. You have to earn your place in this culture now. You make whatever you did off camera back in the day, it doesn't pertain to what we're doing right now. People like Mook and Lux, yeah, they had a lot of off-camera battles, but we saw them battle on camera. They were a foundation of what we see today. Cass has this delusion mindset where it's like, if it wasn't for me, there wouldn't be no smack URL. Like, dog, like, y'all niggas is drunk. You know what I'm saying? All of that. No, stop it, Cass. No, if it wasn't for smack, there wouldn't be a URL. If it wasn't for the Elements League, which inspired Grind Time, which inspired URL, it would not be. That shit wouldn't happen. It has nothing to do with you, Cassidy. You are in the bottom 50 of battle rap legends right now. So you need to get it together. Get out here, battle somebody else. Battle Rum Nitty. Battle JC, these niggas that will punch your fucking head off. Battle Conceited. Battle Conceited will smoke your fucking boots. You have to get your nose bloody in this culture right now.
Yo, did you just say the bottom 50? The bottom 50, son? This nigga might be in the bottom 200. Hold on, 50? That's too high. That's too high.
I don't even think it's 200. I don't think it's 200 legend.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? Cassidy, we appreciate you. Oh, hi guys, how y'all doing? It's been so long. I appreciate you, Cassie, for coming by, stopping by the culture for 2.5 seconds. We appreciate your 3 minutes of what we thought was about to be some shit until you shat it on yourself. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna hold you, brother. I appreciate you personally as a fan growing up listening to your music, but yo, you know a nigga lost when he got to throw on a beat, right? So you 5,002 and oh, but you threw on a beat. The nigga threw on a beat.
For 7 minutes. And then nigga Goods was like, why are you still battling me? The battle's over.
The battle's over.
Why are you still battling?
But wait. He gave us the feel that we lost. He made us believe that he could win.
Wait. He made us believe. Yo, this nigga is still in Never Neverland. He still won. Like, he still believes this.
He done made a diss track and everything. Like, awesome promo. He's the MVP.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy though, and it's crazy But I actually want to cross over to the other side for a second. I want to step into the mindset of these delusional ass fans that are actually saying that Cassidy won. Yo, I forgot what it was. I don't know if it was Boss Chicks Chen. I don't know who it was, but a dude was doing a breakdown of the bars. Take away Cassidy's voice, take away Cassidy's person, and just reading bar for bar Cassidy's bars and Grid's bars. Yo, that way, realistically, Cassidy had better bars. But how much more trash are you as a battler if your bars on paper were obviously the bars on it was when you just reading it sounds better when you're just reading it like Cassidy was actually saying something, but nigga, how you couldn't deliver your own shit? I don't get that.
Okay, well,
to me, his bars were just like filler bars, basic bars. For him to be so like the status as he is, he should have came with more like hard hitting heavyweight stuff. It was just regular to me.
I agree with Mojo. Like, honestly, to tell you the truth, excuse me, I'm being an asshole. I really was only talking about his first round. I wasn't talking about writing down his other 2, 3, the second and third. Nah, I was only talking about the first 3 minutes. I'm not even gonna lie.
First 3 minutes were good. I thought it was gonna be a battle, but then like when you start hitting that 4-minute mark, it was like, what?
Yo, how did y'all honestly feel when I was watching Resolution, right? And Cassidy went first, and he started spitting. I'm not gonna lie, I started getting a little nervous for Goods. I was like, yo.
I was like, oh, Goods about to get it,
and then
after a while, I was just like, what?
I'm gonna tell you when it died. I'm gonna tell you when it died.
Crowd. You can't. What's up, Edge? You can't battle the crowd. You can't battle the crowd, my nigga. Like, you talking shit to the crowd. That's what he really lost. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. A crowd's a crowd. It don't matter where you're mad, whether they're with you or against you. A crowd's a crowd. A crowd's gonna be fickle. It's a crowd. You can't argue with the crowd, man. That's like going to a concert, right? And you got a lineup, and maybe the third person that's at the concert you don't want to see, so niggas is booing that nigga. You gonna start arguing? You just got paid.
They booing the best shit in the world, dog. They booing the best shit in the world.
They booing the best shit in the world.
That shit died. That shit died after he stopped talking about the rhinoceros and the elephant.
Oh, you mean the foreign chick riding camel toe on a camelback or the camel toe? Yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah.
What you know about riding on a camel with a chick with a camel toe?
That nigga put out a tweet,
nobody
right? And he said
that. You know why? Because we don't want to ride on a camel with a chick with a camel toe. What is that gonna do for my life?
First of all, I tried to picture that. Like, I just tried to picture, excuse my graphicness, a bare camel toe on a camel's back. I was like, that's pretty moist. But what the fuck does that have to do?
How do you think a camel feels? That, like, you probably offended a bunch of camels by saying this fuck.
What does that have to do with battle rap? A moist camel toe on a camel back.
Like, the camel was probably sitting there like, dog, I wish this nigga would get the fuck up off me, bro.
Somewhere Joe Camel was smoking himself to death. Like, fuck is this nigga talking about?
He was pissed.
He lost me once again. He knocked the hippo down from about 100 yards. I was like, there you go. There go the hippo bars. Can't forget the hippo bars. This nigga knocks a hippo down every time he raps.
I'm paying your melanin now, and the fake ice around your neck can't make the swelling go down. That was actually going to fly.
Yeah, he got a.
Oh my God.
He got an alphabet soup flow. He got to get rid of that. Cassidy sound like alphabet soup.
There are so many.
Let's get to closure. Can we talk about closure? We've been ducking closure for a minute.
Nah, we gotta speak. We gotta speak through resolution. You can't act like Cassidy
hey,
and
We already did resolution. We did that last week.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I'm here now. Yo, resolution was good.
You missed it. You missed it, Mr. Truitt.
Yo.
Closure.
Closure.
Let's talk about how okay that event was.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you. RBE and URL. I wasn't really too happy with either of the events as a fan. I was cool with it, but I was like, from all the hype. RBE, I expected more from URL, but I guess N.O.M.E is about to cure my sickness. If that card is fire, that's another topic. But I don't know. It was alright. Out of 5, I give resolution like a 4 point. I give it a 4.0. I give RBE
I'll give
like
it a
a
3. I'll give it a 3 out of
3.8.
5 because I didn't like the earlier battles, like the lesser known name battles. I kind of didn't like it. I think it really picked up when Old Red versus J Murder went down. I really liked that battle. I really like that.
Yo, they wasn't giving. They wasn't. Listen, man. The crowd, they was already against J Murder, man. He lost before he even started, man. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, but I liked it because I fuck with Red. I think Red is dope. It took me a couple, like early on in Red's career, I wasn't really fucking with him. But later on, I started to really appreciate what Red brought to the table. And I feel like Red got that every single round. But I felt like it was a great performance from Red. I thought it was very, very dope.
I felt like J Murder actually was talking about some shit, but I can't give Old Red credit like that. Old Red stumbles in every fucking battle. Like he
I
has
don't remember him stumbling in this one.
round.
And that water bottle always saving them.
Like I don't even understand. You know what? I'm not even gonna go back to champion of the year. I just feel like why are like y'all are blind to the stumbles that he would have, that other battlers have. We point out and we just don't even see those when it comes to Ored. He never has a clean fucking round. Bars are cool. Schemes are too fucking long still. Like, all right, I was okay with that battle.
It was cool. I just it wasn't where I thought it would have been or should have been.
I mean, their situation I don't feel was
Deep.
was really that it wasn't really that deep rooted. So
J Murder has lost steam in the last 2 years. Let's not even lie. Like where he been, what he been doing, he just really ain't been doing great at all.
Talk to these niggas, Edge.
It is what it is.
Nah, it is what it is. You right. Talk. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. J Murder, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what I mean. I've interacted with him, you know, through Facebook, social media, just like anybody else would. You know what I'm saying? You know how I go in this shit. But shout out to J Murder. Murder's actually dope. You know what it is? I think honestly, it's the fact that, and I hate, it's crazy that I'm actually saying that because some people used to say this about certain battle rappers on URL. I think that he was so stuck to the RBE concrete, so tough. It's like I ain't seen this nigga's feet touch no other pavement as far as like a lead to battle in. Like, you know, like saying sometimes staying on a block too long could hurt you.
that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you're not being loyal or nothing like that. Nah, it's business. But at the end of the day, it's like I haven't seen J Murder on any West Coast cars, any Midwest car. I don't really think he leaves New York.
Nah, he don't. He did when he battled Qotr'S. When he battled Qotr'S, I think that was in Florida.
But understand what I'm saying, though. That had to do with something with URL. So what you're saying is that you see where I'm going with this, right? It's like it's not you have, but you haven't battled enough outside of your comfortability.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So with so we said last year for 2019, which I'm actually proud of, because everybody's actually doing it. It's a whole lot more accountability going on this year. A lot of it. So I say, with that being said, like it's, I don't know how to say this. How it's like J Murder is dope, but I'm sorry, You hung yourself. Fuck it.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? It's like he kind of hung himself a little bit.
And it's been lately.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Jay? We need to see the old Jay back.
Yeah, I like the old
I
Jay
used
mother.
I used to hang with them over at the smaller leagues. He was one of the. I was so proud that he was Latin. I was like, ooh, and the fact that he was Hami co-signed how I felt about him as a battler. And then what happened? Something happened. Something happened. He transitioned. Something didn't work out right. Something happened.
Well,
So,
maybe he gave us a piece of what happened in that third round. Because to be honest with you, that battle was trash. But when he started getting into that La Familia shit, I was like, okay. Like I was tuned in. Like I like when he spits like that, but he still lost. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got pain in their life, man. And sometimes, it affects everybody differently.
His real talk, his real talk,
style.
no, that particular round when the real talk round that he had,
That was that third round, I think. His last round, I believe.
third, yeah, I felt that.
I did too.
I really felt that, but like you said, there is no transition because that's
And what is this? Why are we waiting until the third round to be fire?
well,
You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. No, hold on. I got this. I'm gonna tell you why. Because a nigga named Geechee Gotti came and fucked the game up, and now thirds. We know why this is happening. We know why this is happening. It's always been happening.
Geechee is a different type of talent in writing.
No, you're absolutely right. But what I'm saying is that niggas have used the third round now. Okay, so for what?
This started before Geechee. This started
Yeah,
before.
it did. Rounds get broken down. First rounds is usually like aggressive. Second rounds, you start to like punch a nigga. Thirds have always, to me, seemed like they've all been geared towards the personal rounds. Like you can know if somebody will get a person who's gonna be in the third.
Well, and not for nothing, I feel like Oops with his messages.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Suge with his "What's Your Life Like."
And then you got honestly, it's not one of those, but then you got the Lux third versus Calico. Like third rounds just seem to be them personal ass rounds. You know what I'm saying? It just was it
That's
12?
That's not exactly fire to me. Like how was that?
You know what? I feel like the third rounds have now what I call church. The conviction round. Everybody starts talking the Holy Ghost. Nah, I mean, what else could it be?
Feeling that shit in my spirt. Like
what else could it be though?
I got one of those third. I got one of those type of third rounds against my opponent.
You know what I'm saying? Aren't those the Holy Ghost thirds? That's what we gonna call them now.
I'm about to speak to this man's heart.
I'm about to talk to this nigga's soul right now. He should be talking to these niggas' souls. It's the conviction rounds.
Conviction.
Oh my Lord. Wait. We have to a moment of silence for Afeni Shakur.
I hate you. You know what, Wayne? That's it. That's it. We are not doing this today. You did this on Mother's Day.
Hey.
You did this.
Dear Mama.
Hey, has Bonnie came out and said anything about her thinking that Pac's mom died?
Has she said anything?
Yeah. Has she said anything about how stupid she looked thinking that Pac's mom just died?
No. Not that I've seen. Not that I've seen. I feel like
she was just celebrating the anniversary of her passing. I don't know.
That was not her anniversary. She died on the second. She died on the second.
Listen, man. All I'm saying is
she got confused. Remember, everybody started posting. A hell of a drug. Don't do that. Shut up.
Men that have been, and that was an influence in my life. I'll be damned.
Whatever the hell she was drinking, and I want some.
And that motherfucker said, hold on. A moment of silence for Afeni Shakur. For real.
Oh, I hate you right now. I hate you.
That's too.
I
He
I hate
died
both of y'all.
today.
I hate all three of y'all.
Whatever was in
I
that
hate all
punch, I
three of
need. I
y'all.
need a drink. I
I
need a
hate all
Coke.
three of y'all.
Tupac's mom, she died today. Like,
Oh
what fucking
gosh.
year are we in?
And them fools sitting up here looking around, looking around. I'm
I was looking
texting
around. I was looking at my TV like I was
Listen,
looking at my phone like what the
listen. I had took an edible right before I started watching it, and when she said that, I was just like, "Oh yeah, yeah, what?"
Edible
between her and
arrangements.
between that and what she was wearing, I couldn't even watch the whole battle.
I did the Scooby Doo. You know how you put your hair down?
Hmm?
Ooh.
So I'm
No,
definitely listening to
I
Hey,
immediately went into why, Bonnie, why?
Hold on, wait a minute. No.
I thought I was tripping. God
I'm
dang.
texting.
yo,
It's
Bonnie, I love you, Bonnie, but you gotta stick to just taking pictures with celebrities and just keeping your mouth closed. Cause yo, I don't know what the fuck you be talking
my
about no more.
bottom. Listen.
We need
Um,
librarian
um,
Bonnie back. I need librarian Bonnie. I need
no,
her.
no.
She has some
Reed,
stuff.
come on down. Reed, come on down. You stay down now. Take Bonnie ass. Cause you have now, you can't come out the coffin. You can't
Yeah,
come. What's worse? My nigga,
yeah.
this was a pay-per-view that thousands of people, celebrities, my nigga, celebrities,
Oh god.
Listen, this is where she should have see. First of all, I don't know why you surprised. This is the same person that said that Cassidy was ready. Also, she was. You gotta understand. Like I've been paying attention to her tweets the whole time.
But there's a lot of people that said that Cassidy was ready because they had heard this mysterious round
Right,
that he
right,
was.
right, 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 right. But we already talk about Bonnie right now. She was just giving cred to Tupac's dead. Come on, my nigga. This is Bonnie. What I'm saying is delusion is a disease. You know what I'm saying?
I
It's
got.
a
Oh, I see
disease.
what you did there. I said that was overhead. I saw what you did there. Saw what you did
Yeah,
there.
yeah. It's a disease.
I just, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. Sorry. Moving right along, because
You
after that,
started it. You the one who started it, though.
just trying to get that battle out of the way. I was just trying to
Okay.
get that battle out of the way.
You didn't even talk about the battle, okay?
Nothing
Nah,
just
not at all. She got
that
straight to the
want to
Afeni
get out of
Shakur
it.
bars. She didn't even
Yeah,
talk
you
about
knew
that
what
one bar.
Julie had one after that. There was nothing else to say. Her Tech Nine line wasn't even good. Fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
Yo, so
And
can we talk about the brash can I say the brash or can I say the over I mean shit, I'm hearing a lot of Tech Nine bars ever since
Well,
self checkout.
before we get there, hold on. Before we get there, because there's a couple of more battles I want to talk about. But I want to segue into this battle. I asked this question on my wall. Who had the best snitching clips line? Who had the best
The
against?
best snitching, the best clip snitching line.
Right. Well,
Because if you
it's
say the best snitching clips line, that means you snitch. So
or Scheme. Who had the best one? Lux. Well, okay. Well, I'm not going to say what people are saying, but Lux, Hollow, Math. Out of the three, I think I had
yo,
three or four.
to
Three
be
or
honest
four.
with you, for me, it would always be Lux because everything else to me seems like it just came afterwards, and it's like a competition to see who would have the better Charlie Fathers and Snitch bars. I mean, I don't know. It would always be Lux to me. I couldn't see how I give it to anybody else.
But Rex was the one who actually brought it to the forefront.
Right.
I don't know that Lux wouldn't have if it was never used. I don't know that Lux wouldn't have. But
You got
then
to keep it. You got to keep in mind also that's the Harlem thing. It's a Harlem thing, so it's not like it's.
also Mickey Sacks. Mickey Sacks had a good one too. I like Mavs. I really, really like Mavs.
I like math too.
Math was very creative. I like the way he incorporated that whole theme into the flip flop. That shit was fire to me. It was Math always has these glimpses of creativity. like with Chilla, like with two other battles that we had, but off the top, just what I remember when I was too, because he was going with this. But there's always those glimpses of genius. And
Yeah.
although it's an easy angle to just talk about his dad being a snitch and a rat and all of this. I liked where he went with that shit. I liked how he went across the board. He brought it back to your mother, your dad did this to you, and you got it this way, and you said that you hate me on it. Like all of that shit. I was kind of almost sitting here like, damn, bro. Although your daddy snitch, give him another chance. What you mean? I was. You don't about believability. So I'm sitting here like, damn.
Hold on. That was Matt's third round, right? Conviction round. Once again, third round.
There you go. But here's the thing. Just as well as Lux's entire first, second, and third against Clips, his third tied into everything. Math's third tied into everything. So
Shout out to Math. Math is good at he's good at painting narratives. Math a Taurus. I'm a Taurus, so I could understand that. His mind is a little different. You know what I'm saying?
He painted the fuck out that Picasso. And really did a good job at doing it. I heard that Clips got emotional after that particular battle, and I feel like his emotion during that third, he did another freestyle like he did with Lux, and I guess that's why I brought that up, because I was watching that battle, and then I was watching Lux because of the NOME. But then that question came up because I was just like, you know what? Who had the best? Since Mike seems to think that Arsenal lost to Lux, but that's another
hell no. Arsenal beat Lux.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Mr. Miyagi, listen. Lux and Miyagi died. Lux and Miyagi died, all right?
He
died.
There's a lot of shock value there. I didn't fall for the shock value.
How is it? Listen, nah, man. You crazy? Nah, Arsenal was talking to this nigga, man.
How was he talking to him?
He was talking to this nigga, man. I believe it's that second round, bro. See, Mike will sit down here and want to break down bar for bar. I ain't got it for you.
Notes. Hold on. Let me go get my. You know what? Nope. We gonna say that. We do this every time. We gonna have this.
Mike, you going left.
Mike, we gonna have this dance. We're gonna have this dance.
I'm here for it. I am here for it.
We gonna have this dance though.
Mike be going left. I don't know how the hell Mike be agreeing like the nitty surf egg. Like I agree, and then he be having times like this where he just malfunctions. I'm like, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I honestly I got.
Okay. Moving past that, I did want to talk about. Listen, salute to Bill Collector.
Yes.
Salute
Great
to
battle.
Bill Collector.
Great battle.
Yo. No disrespect to Hitman, but Bill 2-1 because he just came with the shits all around performance, bars. I like new Bill. I like this Bill.
He flipped it.
Wait.
He flipped it against him too.
I like this
kind of
Bill.
thought I said that. Didn't I say he was gonna do that? Kind of thought I said he was gonna do that. Game tapes.
Yeah,
you did. You did. Absolutely.
You definitely did.
I thought I bet one of y'all, right?
Definitely wasn't me, but you probably did.
It was me. I'll hold that one.
Run my money.
I'm gonna pull a shot.
What?
She said I'm gonna pull a shot.
No, I need my money. See, you know that I can come have somebody pick it up though, because I got
She said I can have somebody come pick it up though. She said I have somebody come pick it up.
I got the money.
No, this is a bet. See, I don't do all that. You know what I mean? I don't do all that. I'm not a gambling woman. I try to, play. I try to go by the word of a good book. And the one time I gamble, you decide to just not run me my money. Like, we don't do that.
Shy got it.
Yo,
As
what
long
other
as I owe you, you'll never be broke. As long as Shy owes me, I'll never be broke, which means you'll never be broke.
Wow. Okay. Moving right along.
Yo, so random. So two females in battle rap was punching air in each other's faces, tussling on the ground. I just seen the footage.
Oh
I said
no, we already went past that. We already went past that. Yeah, we won't give that any shine. Yeah, you missed all of that. We had a
Oh no. I mean, I just said random. You know, I just put my 2 cents in it. You know what I'm saying? So we walk your step. Okay, so moving right along. How you doing?
Let me ask y'all this because Norbs is trying to push this fucking battle, and I'm just not having it.
What?
I've seen them go all back and forth again, to each other. Calico and Twerk. What we doing?
No.
Nah. You know what it is? I listen. Listen. Can I ask a question? Where did this battle originate from? Okay, I know. Was it a volume? Was it volume? The volumes was that 2? Where he battled Averb. He took the hood. The hoodie standing over him with the hoodie down. We see this part in the I think it's the Al Capone cigarillo commercials. He comes clapping out the screen. I'm trying to understand like what's the whole big hype and deal behind Calico and Twerk? Is it because he said fuck trick? Is that something like I'm trying to understand like why is this so big of a deal that it has to happen back? Oh, those are questions.
I don't know.
Because Twerk is a hot thing. Calico's lost steam. Twerk is a hot thing. He thinks that he could, because he beat Briz in a terrible battle. Mike, he could come in here and
Mike, hold on real quick. Mike, be honest with me. Because I'm not saying I don't value anybody else's word, but I just want to ask you personally. Yo, you like Calico versus Ill Will?
Yep.
I did.
So to me in that battle, I feel like Calico won the battle, but I don't feel like he won the battle. I still prefer Ill Will. I still take Ill Will in that battle.
Oh,
me too.
A lot of people got Calico. So I'm saying a lot of people have Calico winning, but but this is what I'm saying. Honestly, I don't like Dreadhead Cal, bruh. Dreadhead Cal has been trash to me. I'm sorry.
Before Dreadhead Cal was trash.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that. I mean, a lot of people will say, "When's the last time Cal was good? Was it versus Lux?"
He calls himself who said that?
Wizard.
Magician. He calls himself a magician, and that's fine.
He calls himself a wizard. A wizard. Get it right. They're two different things. He wears long robes with the sleeves.
Oh, he's a wizard.
Abracazam. Abracacal.
Yo, listen. He doesn't. Shout out to Calico once again. We just give it up. Like I used to be a Calico fan, but I have not been interested in nothing Cal has to say lately. I tried. Like I don't get that feel anymore. Like that Detroit, that Midwest. I don't get that feel from him no more, man. I don't know.
I did an interview with him a long time ago, and I told him I really wasn't the biggest fan of his style, and I wasn't. I felt like he whined a lot. I felt like, I didn't feel like he rapped. He did have attributes that could win him the battle. Don't get me wrong.
Cal's a storyteller. When I mean storyteller, I don't mean like he tells stories. I mean he's a narrator.
Be a wizard, and I can understand he can be the narrator, but at the end of the day,
who he's like? Cal is
the most is about who your daddy is.
Yeah,
and I feel like why? Because
what? Can we talk about it though?
Let's talk about it.
Do you believe in a parallel universe? Well, I do. What's the difference between Cal's pop situation and Charlie Cliff's pop situation? Hold on, think about it real quick. Let's get it together. Okay. See, I was waiting for this. A lot of people like to talk, but niggas ain't paying attention. What is the difference?
For a moment.
What is the difference? I believe in a parallel universe. Do y'all? What is the difference between Cal's, because honestly, you're absolutely right, Wing. And it's crazy because I've been waiting for somebody to say this, period, on any platform. I've never heard anybody say this shit. What's the difference? There really ain't no difference. Didn't his pops partially or some niggas' angles be partially? Snitching is involved. You know what I'm saying? On both sides, whether who did that or this, that, and third or whatever, it doesn't matter. Still is a story of somebody's pops, and you are now being attacked by your opponents because your pops has a situation with the law. Think about it. That's just really what it is. On two different sides. Same shit, different toilet. Charmin's is still tissue. Right. I don't know. I was waiting for somebody to tell me the difference. Crickets, crackling, snick, snick, snick.
What happened?
I said, I'm just waiting for somebody to tell me the difference between Cal's pops and Clips' pops, because they're both angles. They're both angles. They get brought up.
But you know what? This is the thing. People are gonna be they look at it differently because Cal's pops didn't snitch, Clips did.
Right. So you got the angel, and then you got the devil in the whole situation as far as the streets go. Feel where I'm going?
However, hold on. Oh damn. I'm sorry. I had to take a brief intermission. However, here's the difference. Cal uses his dad's situation in conjunction to up his status and make it seem as if he is a certain type of person.
Call it what it is. He came to screaming BMF, BMF, BMF.
But Cal's not BMF.
Right.
But it sounds like it's through association because his dad was. You see what I'm saying? This is why everybody attacked that.
But there's a difference.
No. But see, that's why Will said
my dad's
no.
a terrible person, and I'm not.
Right. You were just the son of a nigga who was down. And of course, you know, when you're the son of somebody like that, they gonna make sure they hold you down. Right. That don't mean that you are them or a part of them. Then you took a whole nother nigga slogan and made it your own. So you're a pretender all the way around.
Oh, you've been through. You know what? Hold on. You know what? I forgot what we talking about. When Wing says that, that just struck a chord. I woke up. I'm awake. I woke now.
Wake up.
I'm awake now. I mean, listen. It's not a Mr. Potato Head battle, man. Come on.
Let the moment use you.
It's not a Mr. Potato Head. It's not a Mr. Potato Head battle, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, just let it flow. You know? Yeah. Took a whole other nigga slogan.
Listen, honestly, Cal versus Twerk right now, I think Twerk could get Cal the fuck out of here, bro. I don't see what Cal's gonna do any differently. I'll be honest.
Damn, Mike, why you look like that?
Huh?
Why you look like that?
Oh no, there's a notification that popped up and I was reading it and cleared it.
Yeah, I just seen it too.
That's all that was. But I agree. Twerk could get Cal the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he definitely
and
would.
It sucks because I hate going against rappers from back home and shit. But sometimes
I forgot.
Oh yeah, I forgot. This is a different type of feeling for you. I forgot.
No, not really. It's not a different feeling. It's an agreed feeling. I honestly feel like early on in Cal's career, I thought Cal was decent. I feel like his Lux battle was his best performance. And then it just he got very, 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 very regular. Because the shit that he had against Lux could have beat anybody on that stage that night.
Call it what you want to call it, bro. Very, very regular is just the nicest way of saying he's just been basic as fuck.
That's it. That's it.
I'll just be honest. He's just been basic.
Right. Let me say it how I want to say it.
I feel you. I feel you. It's that Michigan shit.
Nah, but the stuff that he had against Lux at that time and how battle rap was, that stuff would have beat anybody on that stage that night.
I agree.
Anybody who stepped in front of him with that material, except probably Hitman. Because Hitman had one of the most legendary first rounds.
So with that being said, So with that being said, because I'm not gonna lie to me, I'm like, yo, Cal's first 2 rounds, them shits was fire versus Lux, and I had the nigga up 2-0. That's why I, as a fan, had to say like, yo, I've never in the history of me watching battle rap seen a nigga win a whole battle with just the third round. I think.
But you know what's even crazier about that
I
is
think
the fact that we didn't even see the whole third round.
Right. What Wing has said about you know what I'm saying, but that's not that, but that's not his life. You know what I'm saying, as his pops. Exact. That to me is what made Lux's third even more greater, because he's the only one at that time that he dug into that dirt patch. He dug into that shit, man.
You a lost nigga.
He was so lost. Bro, my nigga, listen, I felt like I was at church. I was sitting in the congregation and he was talking to me. I felt the conviction, okay?
And you hear Busta Rhymes and him up in the top of the God damn!
Yeah, it was church. It was church. Banging on the side of the fucking, it was, yeah.
God damn! What? Damn! Talk!
Right. Niggas was speaking in tongues and shit.
It was, yeah.
They fucking mind up in there.
That shit was a third. It was a lyrical baptism. That's what the hell that was. It was a lyrical baptism.
That's a fact.
That set the trend. That set the trend for these conviction thirds. It's stuff like that set rounds for the conviction thirds. Look at Lux versus Twerk. That round he had. It's just certain.
Busta Rhymes needs to be at every battle event just for his fucking reaction.
Nah, facts. Him, Puff, Q-Tip. You gotta bring back that Summer Madness too. That you gotta bring back that crowd. You gotta bring them niggas back, man. You got to.
Yeah.
That nigga fucked it down.
So I ask all that to say I'm bringing it on home to NOME. I'm trying to bring it on home to NOME. I feel like, as I was saying, I'm watching the battle with Arson and Lux. I'm trying to get a feel for how Lux is going to come with this battle. I'm also trying to get a feel for, because if you recall, I feel like Lux is going to have a hell of an angle that he can kind of flip it a couple of different times. You know what I mean? I feel like he might even bring out Iron Solomon to rap against him too. Lux, I just feel like he may be this wild card.
So you think Lux bringing somebody out, if he does, let's say he does do that, you think that it's Lux, you're the god, quote unquote MC, you're not supposed to be bringing out nobody?
Well,
I don't see Lux doing that.
I don't either, but
I don't know.
I get it.
His props are always strategic to that battler. This whole situation came by way of ducking Iron, of which both of them ducked Iron. Did we forget that?
So this is why it wouldn't make sense for him to use Iron in that situation.
Iron is Iron's den.
It wouldn't make sense for him to use Iron.
Did you forget? You forgot that part, right?
I did. About that.
I honestly did.
Arsenal said it.
Arsenal also said that we can't trust anything Arsenal says. Okay.
We can't, but it substantiates the fact when Lux is
on Squidward's clarinet. Yes, we can. Okay. Yes, we can.
At the end of the day. Okay.
Okay.
I just kind of feel like he will do something like that. I got Lux winning. I'm just going to tell you that now. I got
Lux winning 2-1. I'm going to give Verb all round. I don't know which one it's going to be. Carla can only be maybe the first. I don't want to disrespect and say 3-0. I don't want to say 3-0. You know what I mean? I just want to be respectful, but I'm trying to give Verb a round in here, but I don't see him beating Lux at all. I mean, I just hope he fights well. All he got to do is make it debatable. That's all he got to do to me.
Let me paint this picture for y'all. That NOME stage is different, okay? That NOME stage is real different in Texas. Okay, at the end of the day, Lux is a fan favorite there. You do not have You do not have Tech Nine to give the feel for this event like they did the last time. And
what if Lux come with a Tech 9 bar? And flips it some way to relate to Verb, like just like as a punch. Because everybody's dropping these bars.
Oh, them Tech Nines are.
Yeah, they're crucial.
Damn it!
I'm not gonna lie. The first one I heard was at a Phoenix PG out here. Then the next one I heard was the self checkout joint. I'm not gonna lie. That probably was one of the greatest crafted thirds I've ever heard in my life, bro. That whole round with the speed.
Mac Myron's was crazy too.
Mac Myron's was fire. Yeah, I just watched that battle last night. Shout out to Danny and shout out to Mac Myron. But I am going to say, I'm sorry, Mac Myron 2-1. I don't care who. Listen. Ain't no chick giving me the secret pipe. I'm sorry, Danny. I know what you meant, but I can't give you the battle off of that, bro. I just can't. I can't. Right. I can't. Yeah. I gotta be honest. I know what you meant.
See,
but
Danny, though. That is the problem with Danny. Danny is so creative, and he punches like everything is not gonna land. And I know in his mind, he thinks that these things are great, but they're not.
All he had to put was I'm giving her the secret pipe. Just I apostrophe M would have changed that whole narrative. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the battle was fire. And then when you start bringing it down bar for bar, and then you start to like, where you gonna start giving these two battle rappers their points at? And when you get to that part, it's like, yo, you can't. We hold everybody else to the standard. We can't not do the same, because if it was anybody else, they get the same type of ridicule. They would. But because that battle was so fire, and they was literally for 3 rounds punching each other's fucking heads off. But Mac Myron is different. No, stop playing with this nigga, man. Stop playing with this nigga.
That 20K line. Oh my God.
Yeah, this nigga Mac Myron from jump. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I gave him the first. I edged the second to him. I like Danny, but it's just I was like, nah, man, Mac got this. I said, if there's a battle rapper who needs this battle more, and it happened, I'm glad it happened at the Hunger Games. You know what I'm saying? Like, they needed a battle like that. Like, they really, really did. You know what I'm saying? And that shit is dope. They got one, but Mac Myron, man, and it's crazy because when I used to watch Mike Murderers back in the day, it was him, Ill Will, and JC that I used to check for. I think one of the first battles from there, they were battling. I don't know if it was at the backyard of somebody's crib, or they was at a park, or it got started at somebody's crib and ended up at a park.
About JC
it was Mac Myron versus JC. It was Mac Myron versus JC. I'll never forget that. To me, I was like, that's why I always was confused. Or not really confused, but I'm like, they gave the torch to Ill Will coming out that league. To me, Mac Myron was always the best nigga out Mike Murderers. Always. That nigga's nice. Like, I don't even know why niggas is even playing around with this nigga. Like, I don't even know why he ain't even gotten I don't know why niggas is sleep on him, man. Niggas like him, Jada Nightwing, like certain niggas, I don't know why niggas is sleeping on these niggas, man. I don't get it.
Well, first off, I love Jada Nightwing. That's my guy. But I don't think that people are sleeping on him anymore.
No, now they're not. I'm talking like in a sense of like back when niggas was. They shouldn't have. That's what I'm saying.
Right. But you know what? I really feel like some of that has to do with giving the credit to the West. So, niggas ain't trying to give that credit to the West like that. Now you have to. You know what I mean? You really, really have to now. But I feel like here's the thing: when politics start getting involved, whether it's the machine behind you or they're trying to put somebody else on and not really put you on, I do know for a fact that they were trying to get Mac Myron a plate, give him a plate just recently, but he was loyal, and I salute to him. He was loyal, and he stayed committed to do this battle. So I do appreciate that. I definitely do appreciate that. And that battle has potential to be battle of the year.
Yeah, it definitely does. It does. Right now, what it sounded like, it sounded like that one's standing above the rest a little bit. I'm going to give everybody a prediction. This battle, I believe, is going to be up there. And y'all two motherfuckers better not let me down. But Rum Nitty and K-Shine, I've been waiting for that one for so long. So long. The NOME 9 card has the potential to have a couple candidates for Battle of the Year if both sides bring it right. Jack Boy versus John. I don't know why some people is downplaying that one, but yo, everybody's. I know Houston loves Jack Boy, but for some reason, I got John 2-1. I did my little prediction, you know what I'm saying, live or whatever, but I got John 2-1 personally because you just lost to the homie, his homie in your front yard, not your backyard, your front yard. I don't think that John's gonna go to Houston playing, man.
Well, he can't. He can't afford to. He can't afford to.
He can't. If he loses, yo, Wig's facial expression just killing me right now.
The phone started cutting out.
Your phone started cutting out, and then I just see like, I'm like,
no, yours did. Yours did, bro.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm fine. I can see you clear in real nigga time.
No, while you was talking, it started getting robotic.
No, that's how I'm looking at her.
I'm sorry, my daughter I had to kind of like go sit down.
Mike, we gotta remember, Mike, she's the mega brain of the whole live, so we are all affected through her.
But I'm sorry, I completely lost focus.
We were talking about John and okay, I said so. So if John loses to Jack Boy in Houston, what do we do with John?
Oh,
that'd be two back. That'd be two in a row. To the Goonies.
Oh shit.
And we know that problems stipulate. Listen, all right, you know what? I'm not even gonna hold niggas. We know problems stipulate within the Goonies camp and his camp. I think him and Drugs have a situation. So at the end of the day, it's more like
no, him and Drugs don't have a situation.
They don't? Okay, they don't. Okay.
Oh wait,
okay, they do.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Back it up.
Yeah, because I know some things.
What did you?
Yeah. I'm not saying that it is, but I know some things. I know. She's like, damn, you future sensed me with the overhead. Yeah. I was trying to find a way to, it's not that it's but something happened. You know what I'm saying? Something happened. I don't like your face right now. So what I'm saying is that he first the Goonies, John, he can't take consecutive losses to the Goonies.
Basically. I feel like this is why this fight footage is out there. He has to take the steam away from Jack.
Yes.
He definitely has to take the steam away from Jack. Credibility wise.
Wait, hold on. I just caught that. Wait, there's a Jack Boy fight video out? John posted? Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I peeped it earlier. It wasn't nothing major. I did see
Wait.
It's on Twitter. I peeped it.
All right.
I
didn't see that, but I know a situation. I know a certain situation. It's crazy though. We probably have to talk behind the scenes because you know what I'm saying. I heard a certain battle rapper was there that is very much friends with the show, and when the situation kind of happened, he kind of walked away, and kind of yeah, that was I don't know. You know what? Yeah, I know a lot, Wing. I know you see how about I know a lot. You wonder how I know these things. I know a lot, man. I know a lot. So I know that hands was laid across, like, come on, let me talk to you real quick. First of all, I'm not letting my mans go talk nowhere with a nigga that's the op dolo. It's just a lot of things. Oh, am I preaching? Am I clear? Can you see me? Picture me rolling? I'm here. I be knowing these things, man. So I wait for certain situations to arise. That's why this whole Jack Boy John thing to me, I'm like, So the lid's starting to come off a little bit. Okay.
Here's the thing. Okay. This battle is going to be just as personal as any of the grudge matches we have ever seen. Okay.
I expect a couple of, I don't even say almost fights. A lot of pushing, aggression. This battle is like.
I don't think so. Well, I kind of do, but I don't.
This is Goonies versus John. I don't care who the Goonie is.
I feel like this. I feel like
Twerk was talking to this nigga when he brought up that whole situation with old girl. Like Twerk. It's like Twerk wanted that nigga to do something.
But he ain't gonna do nothing with Twerk. He ain't gonna do nothing with Twerk because that part he knows. He knows better with that. I mean, I was standing right there when God be on this man.
Yeah, that shit was kind of crazy.
And he did nothing. Well, I mean, he was talking, but he definitely cowered.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, God damn. But I feel like this is more, I feel like it's more personal as far as Jack and John are concerned, because they have history in terms of the whole him supposed to be putting Jack on, and with Bullpen or whatever. So the story that John tells in regard to Bullpen, and I actually heard, we were.
I saw the contract. I saw Jack Boy put the contract on Twitter. He got it still.
I mean, and he got it from a Bullpen battler. And because Riggs and I, as far as co-managing with him, everybody has seen the contract, and the contracts are negotiable, and there are, I think, 3 different versions of those contracts.
Riggs?
Really?
I'ma just sip some tea. I don't like you, Wink. I don't like you. I don't like you at all.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm dying.
I'm telling you, man, like it's crazy how all these little, like to me, all these like little behind the scenes stories, they all to me are leading up to one great storyline. We have to have this. We have to have this great. I call it the Great Carolina debate. T-Top, Riggs, Briz. This is a nice storyline for battle rap. You know what I'm saying? To me, everything just points in a certain direction. Sometimes, no matter what the characters or who the pieces or the components may be, makes for good battles.
Yo, what's going on with R Streets?
Yo, was that R Streets in the Mac Myron and what's the name video with the yellow, and I was like, yo, this nigga look like R Streets, but I couldn't tell if that was that nigga. And I was like, if that's that nigga, then that nigga's stylist is horrible. Like why the hell why he look like that? What's wrong with that nigga?
I don't know, but we haven't really seen R Street since the T-Top situation.
My nigga, you can't come back from that. You probably had one of the greatest rounds written. A nigga gassed you and made you feel like he was gonna help you solidify that shit, and then he just left you hanging, half stat. Like he just left you. Like nigga just became one of the greatest memes ever. Nah. Why would we hear from him?
That was the worst thing he ever did anyway. Put your hands in somebody else. Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
Get your hand out my pockets.
Especially he was talking about you had to pay him for it. Like, damn, bro, this your Carolina brother. Like, hold it down for him, man. I don't know, man. That shit kind of crazy.
That shit was shady. I was like, damn, ain't no loyalty. I'm like, that's your Carolina, but like that's crazy. He didn't have to do that, but I'm like, damn, don't make the cat. Like you just showed like no unity in Carolina. Not saying that there ain't none, but that's what that type
Yeah,
of shit do.
yeah.
You know
But
what I'm
that was
saying?
Swamp. That was Swamp was talking about. So I don't know, man. It's just some some things in life are just kind of bigger than money.
Yo, band legacy or whatever the hell, Briz Riggs. Somebody set that shit up, please. I need that in my life.
I don't think we'll ever see it, bro. I'm gonna be
I would
honest.
love to. I would love
I
to.
think you need to happen because they definitely got some history in a conversation that definitely need to be had.
Yeah, I would love to see it. I'd love to see it.
But his band legacy, he's definitely looking kind of
Look forward
interesting,
to it.
man. Some of the names
Riggs
that's
and T
popping up
Top
on
too.
it.
Riggs and T Top
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
too.
man. I want to see who Nitty got. I'm waiting for this fucking Av and Gluezy battle to drop, man.
Man, it's so many damn battles. It's like they don't jump a couple battles from the
You
band
forget.
legacy,
You
and
forget.
it's like
Yup. They got all
they
them
haven't
brand
dropped
legacy
anymore.
battles. They listen. Okay,
Born Legacy.
so check it. Okay. So there's a reason why potentially all of this is happening right now. You know what I'm saying? For those that are in the know and do know, you know what I'm saying? I've been saying for a while that URL, you know what I'm saying, is working on some shit, blah, 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 blah. Listen, from what I do know, you know what I'm saying? They might be there's a reason why they're holding all these battles. If you have one platform that you could just put everything on and just have everybody just subscribe to that and just tune in and just watch everything right there, then it wouldn't potentially make sense to drop the battles on YouTube if you're trying to get away from YouTube. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I think
So
I think I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm think they're trying to figure out how they want to do this pay-per-view thing. If I
right.
think they're gonna go, if I think the way they're trying to go with it, if they're
Now,
gonna do
Shao,
it,
you're right. You're absolutely right. Honestly, that's really what it is. It's how do you basically it's at the stage of how do you use that platform to its full capabilities and still be able to add the pay-per-view value into,
well,
like, you know what I'm saying?
well, the
It's
thing is, okay, let's say you want to do the app like WWE doing the app, which includes old throwback footage from back in the day, but you also get the new stuff.
right.
But you also get the pay-per-view. My thing is, if they're gonna go that way, they're gonna have to do it exactly how WWE doing it. If you want to keep keep the prescribers, keep the subscribers, and for them to keep wanting to pay each month for their content, I really don't think if they go that way, they can't lose. But if you want people to kind of do that app and pay, but still kind of pay for the pay-per-view, I think it's gonna kind of clash because it's gonna be like, okay, I want to see other stuff, but then I don't want to keep paying for this app. But
I feel like they got to find
I'm
a way
not
to
getting
do it
that.
like this. I think that's the way. I think that's why. If you've been paying attention, the pay per views have been more like on VODs, like you know what I'm saying, like the playbacks, via voice videos on demand type shit. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that honestly, bro, you're absolutely right. I think that's really the variable. It's how to get the consumer to, if they already subscribed to the app or whatever, right? Not have them pay for the pay-per-view like they're getting double taxed. You know what I'm saying? But have it more like a feature where if you do have the app, you should be able to. They still gotta want to make money off of it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah. I think they
It's
definitely.
how you gonna charge. It's how you gonna
Yeah,
charge for that,
how much
even
you
if you're
gonna
a
charge?
subscriber.
Yeah.
Right. That's really
I
what
was
it is.
thinking you definitely want to make sure you get the subscribers. You definitely want to put it at a price point to where people gonna want to pay each month, but you got to make sure that the people are getting the product for their money.
I'll tell it like this, man.
And
If you got the
like I
app
said,
and you charge a certain thing for the app, put it where it's like you can